the air, Tom McGinnis would say. With Bill Colarulo, with Ray Dunn producing the show today. I'm a little fired up today, and I know that I am in the minority view. People look at baseball differently than they used to look at baseball, including my good buddy Jason Stark, who we played a soundbite from Jason. He was on yesterday on the afternoon show, and he was talking about how he went against the grain of me with and he agreed with you about taking Alvarado out of the game and not letting him face Gio Urshela and also pinch hitting. But we're past that now, and we're on to a new topic. And this is a very small topic to a lot of people, but not to me. There's a punk who plays shortstop for the Atlanta Braves named Orlando Arcia.
He is a punk.
And first of all, if you're a mediocre player and you do stuff like that, you definitely should go down. Right? Like he's not one of these guys that people go, oh, he's an all-star caliber player. He's a punk. And so what he did yesterday, the old school would never let him get away with that because he tried to one-up and show up the Phillies' best player and one of the best players in the Major League Baseball in Bryce Harper. He hits a home run, and you saw it. He rounds first base and then gives Harper the stare. Based on last year's little snafu that those two guys had together where he went off in the locker room and Harper got picked off of first base to end a playoff game. And he went, thanks, Harper, or whatever he said. And that became an issue. So Harper, after hitting a home run later in the series, hit two, in fact, stared him down. Okay? So now we're even. All right, that's an even Steven. Now you don't do anything else to poke the bear, but last night he continued it when he hits a home run and he stares him down. Not once as he come around first base, but then as between second and third, he gave him another little look. Like, you paying attention, bro? I just went deep on you for a 2-0 lead. Baseball is a sport that polices itself. And when another player tries to show you. It doesn't happen much anymore because players have more dignity where they're not going to show up another player. They're more chummy than they used to be. When a guy does something like that, and your team noticed it, they noticed it. The Phillies noticed it. There's no question in my mind. And you know who should have noticed it more than anybody? Aaron Nola. Now, there are people out there saying, Mike, that's foolish. That's silly. Why would you do something like that? You got you're down 2-0. You can't afford to put another guy on base. I'm not saying hit a man. What I'm saying is the guy who led off the next inning was their best hitter, Marcell Ozuna. He comes up, he digs in, he gets that back foot, and he digs it in. And if you're Aaron Nola, the first pitch should be up and in. I'm not saying hit a guy, put a guy on base. I'm saying, hey, just want to let you know we're paying attention. And your punk shortstop has to calm it down because I'm about to hit you the next time. You're the best player. You're the one that's going to have to pay for what your little punk shortstop did. Now, this is a small issue because the bigger issue is the Phillies came back and won that game, and Rob Thompson pushed the right buttons. And they produced a small ball run to win that game last night. After dub, it's a double off the wall. Stott manages to move him to third with a long drive to center field. You know, you're supposed to pull the ball there, but that's just as well. He gets in the third, and then the sacrifice fly, Brandon Marsh, who pinch hits in that particular situation. So he let Weston Wilson hit, and then he pinch hit in the right spot with Brandon Marsh. So managers got to get credit for that. But I couldn't get past the Arcia thing.
Yeah, so to Rob Thompson real quick, I've questioned a few of his decisions over the last couple of days. I got to give him credit last night because the analytics probably would have told him to pinch hit for Wilson. He doesn't. Trusts his gut, trusts his eyeballs. Wilson's been hitting very well, keeps him in the game. He rewards him with a double. And we're not calling him Wilson anymore. He's Dub-Dub. He's our buddy Dub-Dub.
Yep.
And then the fact that he makes the decision to pinch hit for Rojas with Brandon Marsh, when you only need contact there, you need a fly ball. Marsh is striking out at a rate of 38% this year, but he trusts his guy. He builds confidence in his guy. So I got to give Thompson credit. Did press the right buttons last night.
Let's face it. The buttons were easy to push because you're not going to pinch hit for Weston Wilson. You're not going to pinch hit Cal Stevenson in that situation for Weston Wilson because he likes Weston.
You could have pinch hit Marsh earlier.
Yeah, but Marsh is not a contact guy, so it was laid out for him. He wasn't going to. He likes Weston Wilson a lot, so he's going to give him a chance. He trusts him a lot more than he would trust. And then it was inevitable that he would had to pinch hit for Rojas there. So he was saving Marsh for Rojas, and he wasn't going to use Cal Stevenson in that particular situation. But he pushed the right button. It's really simple. Would you have let Rojas hit there?
No,
really.
No, although Rojas is hitting better than anybody in that outfield
situation,
right now.
You probably would not have, let him hit in that situation, right?
No, I probably wouldn't have let him hit.
So let me ask you a question. You're not a baseball man. This kind of thing, is in my DNA.
Well, you didn't.
The show up thing. I don't like it a little bit.
So for me, right now, talking about Arcia, let's go back to the punk on the Braves.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you've said outside of the fact that I don't know if Nola should have thrown at him or at Ozuna because I don't think you even bring light to the fact of how ridiculous it is that this is a regular season game in the 4th inning and he's going to stare down. Arcia's going to stare down Harper. What Harper did was in the playoffs, game 3 in the postseason. To me, I just think you ignore it because to throw at anybody means you're acknowledging they even care about this guy Arcia, which it was to me it's ridiculous.
This is your best player. He tried to show up your best player by hitting a home run and staring him down. Now, I know people are out there go, that's ridiculous, Mike, to think. I'm not saying to hit Ozuna in that situation. I am saying zing it. Now, Noel's not a zinger, so he's a nibbler. So that's unfortunate. Now, and maybe tonight something happens, but you have to protect your best player who that guy tried to humiliate, and you do it against their best player, and then that best player goes, "Hey, yo, Orlando, don't do that anymore because I'm the guy that's going to take your heat." That's the way it works in baseball. That's the way it should work in baseball. No matter all these pacifists now that look at baseball and go, "That's ridiculous." No, it isn't ridiculous.
No, I'm all with you. When it's time to send a message and police yourselves, what I'm saying in this situation, though, the only reason I wouldn't be behind it is because I don't think you give any credibility to what Orlando Arcia did. It was a joke. It's the 4th inning of a regular season game, and you end up losing the game anyway, Orlando.
Were people paying attention to that? Were the announcers paying attention to it? Did you read the stories in today's paper about paying attention to it? Everybody else is giving credence to it. Why shouldn't you? It was done to you. It's an issue. People write about those kind of issues. The announcers talk about those kind of issues. You don't ignore it. I got to break you in. I swear to God, I got to break you into baseball thinking. Hey, you sound like Jason Stark, who's my good buddy.
And you didn't hear the whole clip. He started it off saying, I want to address Bill, the baseball guy, because Mike, being a football meathead, doesn't understand the way that you should.
Jason has turned into a pacifist. Jason has covered baseball for a really long time, where a guy like Kruk or Dalton would see something like that, and that's why I love that era of baseball. They say, see what that did? They're not going to let him do that to us. He's just trying to do that to our best player. Guess what? Ozuna's got to go down. Now, again, the circumstances to hit him, and if you're down 2-0, it's probably not the right approach. Throwing up and in is the right approach, and maybe tonight they do something about it. It's like Tommy in Goodfellas when Spider said, "Go bleep yourself, Tommy." And then De Niro got up and go, "You're going to let that punk get away with that?" That's what I saw last night with Orlando Arcia.
Yes, but Tommy's reaction was over the top. He ends up killing poor Spider in that scene.
I'm not advocating killing Ozuna. I'm just advocating it like a little Chim Muzak. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think now? Would tonight be too late for what you want them to do?
Christopher Sanchez?
Yeah, would you want to see Sanchez?
Absolutely. Absolutely, he's got to zing one in. You know, and I'm okay with waiting as long as you don't ignore it. Okay? Did Bryce Harper ignore it when Arcia said that in the clubhouse after that game? Did he ignore it?
No, he ends up...
Okay, it bugged him.
But did they
He stood up for himself.
But then the Braves didn't retaliate.
That's correct, because now it's even Steven. Because the Braves know, all right, this guy shut off his mouth. It's ridiculous. He's got to, they have to get it back somehow. And Bryce Harper chose to get him back by hitting a home run and staring him down. He didn't forget about it. He didn't blow it off.
You know what's sad, though, Mike?
What's that?
Orlando Arcia has waited 10 months. 10 months. And he ends up hitting a home run in the fourth inning of really, it's not a meaningless game.
And did he learn anything? No. That's why you got to make him learn. Bill?
Yeah.
Make him learn.
I would like to see Harper tonight do something at the plate. That's what I want to see. You want to see them send a message.
Sam, man, do something at the plate.
I want to see Harper do something.
That's the best revenge. Oh, come on. Play the game with muscles for a change here. 610-632-0975. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about what happened last night. We got a lot of football issues to talk about. It is Mike Missanelli Show. It's right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. My good buddy Jason, we actually, when we were writers at the Inquirer, our desks were right next to each other. And we kind of have a Lower Bucks County origin bond, right? And he's in the Hall of Fame for covering baseball. But Jason, who covered like some of the roughest teams ever in Philadelphia history, Philadelphia Phillies as a beat writer, has gotten to be a pacifist. And we've argued many times about stuff just like this. Like he would look at this and go, "No, I don't like the throwing at each other thing anymore." Or he would get real conservative on decisions. And apparently, his decisions or his opinion on what happened of not pinch hitting, well, with Harper or not taking Alvarado out of the game, he agreed with you, Bill.
I told you I'm a baseball guy.
Let's hear Jason Stark on those two situations.
Yeah, I defend Rob most of the time, but that's honestly one decision I don't understand. Before the game, he said, we have to keep putting our foot on the pedal. Is that what that was? I know that he told the players the same thing. These games matter. Can you tell everyone these games matter, but not do whatever you have to do to make sure that stays a one-run game heading for the ninth? I just don't see how those two things add up.
Wow. Now, I would go back and forth with Jason on that argument because he did whatever he had to do. He said it's better for the long haul to rest those two guys in that situation. That's what he did. That's what Rob Thompson did. He did what he thought was for the betterment of the team. So you can't argue against that just because, the problem with this whole argument is it's only relevant after the fact. This is why I hate these kind of arguments, because it's like low-hanging cherries. Yeah, obviously, Cal Stevenson didn't get the job done in that situation, and maybe Harper would have been better. But it's like picking a low cherry. Anybody can say that after they know the result.
Yeah, but you give yourself the best chance.
Because you know the result.
No, you know the result before. Let me ask you a question.
If Cal Stevenson had gotten a hit there, would you have an argument? No.
Let's look at it before the at-bat.
Mm-hmm.
Just a simple yes or no. Who is more likely to get a hit in that situation, Bryce Harper or Cal Stevenson?
Bryce Harper.
Okay. So you give yourself the best chance.
That doesn't mean that Cal Stevenson can't get the hit, however. But so the result is influencing your opinion.
But then you flash forward to the next game.
Mm-hmm.
When Jose Alvarado has walked the bases loaded, in the moment, not hindsight, in the moment, you could see the guy didn't have his command. You make a move, and that's what Stark's talking about. You do everything you got to do to keep it a one-run game to give yourself a chance in the top of the ninth.
Here's what Rob Thompson is saying. I've seen Alvarado wriggle out of these jams time and time again. Maybe he finds it against Arcia, and if he finds it, that is a kickstart to him getting back to the Alvarado that we need. Now, it didn't work out, but its alternative is I'm not going to use Hoffman for one batter. So my alternative is to stick with Alvarado or go to Max, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
with the bases loaded in enemy territory. Now, if you're a manager, you go, the percentage play is to actually trust Alvarado to get out of the inning because I've seen it many times before. It's just a matter of opinion. But your argument is based on after the fact.
In the moment, I'm yelling at the TV.
No, in the moment, you're not.
In the moment,
you're not.
But look, we're going to try to be positive today, Mike, because Rob Thompson made all the right decisions last night. Maybe with the exception of getting in Nola's ear saying, hey, send a message.
I'm not going to give him credit for last night because it was like, this is what I say. Like sometimes a mannequin in Macy's window can manage a baseball game. Right? Because you know, here's what you know in that inning. Rojas isn't going to hit. That you're going to go with a left-hander, and you got two left-handers on the bench at that point. And so you let Wilson hit, and you save the one left-hander who's more reliable as an everyday player for that at-bat. So I'll give Rob Thompson credit when he deserves credit because I think majoritively he makes the right moves for the Phillies. And that's why I'm going to trust them for the game two days before.
Now, tonight, Rob Thompson has to make the decision. There's a right-hander on the mound for the Braves in Schwellenbach.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you wouldn't see Weston Wilson in left field. But with how he's hitting, Rob Thompson said after the game, I'm considering starting him tomorrow night, meaning tonight. You got to go.
Well, I believe he
right?
will start him tonight because he's a stronger right-handed hitter than Rojas. Because if you play Marsh,
well, you could go Marsh and Stevenson. You technically,
yeah, but well, I don't know.
So
I think I would ride Weston Wilson.
Yeah,
he's very popular with the fan base. People love themselves.
You put him down a little bit yesterday.
Wilson. Well, I think people get carried away with what a mediocre player can do for you.
I'm with you.
I think people stretch it and go, "Well, he should be there every day." No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't be there every day, and neither should Sosa. Like the baseball people know who are everyday players and who are not. Like Weston Wilson, at 29 years old, banging around AAA his whole life, is not an everyday player.
Dude, this is what would have happened if Crash Davis got an opportunity instead of keeping him down with Bull Durham. The Durham
He's
Bulls.
going to get his opportunity. And listen, I hope he takes advantage of it. I wouldn't trust it.
So far this season, let's look at the last 7 games, Mike. Mm-hmm. Weston Wilson's batting .571 in his last 7 games.
Yeah, that's why you got to play him tonight.
That's wild.
Yeah. So he'll play him in left, and he'll play Marsh in center field. And Stott will be back in the lineup as a starter tonight, right? But they're all good. They're going to take 2 or 3 from the Braves, which is what I said they're going to do.
Even if they lose tonight, and I said this before the series, even if they lose 2 of 3, NL East's over. And I was saying this to you off air, Mike. Mm-hmm. Vegas knows the NL East is over. Yesterday before the show, the Phillies were minus 1150 to win the NL East. The Braves were plus 700. This morning I woke up. The line has moved minus 1,900 to win the NL East, plus 1,200 for the Braves after 1 game. Because I think if the Phillies play 500 baseball the rest of the way, the Braves would have to play 700 baseball to win the NL East, and that's just not going to happen with their injuries.
Okay, I'm looking at last night's game. Now, Arcia does this in the 4th after Kelenic singled. So it's 2-0. You get out of the rest of the inning. Merrifield makes the last out. We go to the top of the 5th. Now, did Nola see what Arcia did?
He had to.
He did, right? So Osuna is the first batter up. They got Osuna, Olsen, and Murphy. Now, let me look at the pitch sequence. First pitch, he threw him a knuckle curve down and away.
Complete opposite of what you would have thrown.
Exactly. His second pitch is a ball, another knuckle curve outside the strike zone, low and away. The third pitch is a strike looking, a knuckle curve in the inside part of the plate that kind of wrapped around. He didn't throw him a fastball. His fourth pitch was a sinker, low and away.
Well, yeah, he's approaching the at-bat trying to get him out, not trying to send a message.
Okay, all right. Well, pitch 1, how about up and in four-seamer? That's all I'm saying.
But I think it sends more of a message by ignoring what he did. That you're not even going to acknowledge Arcia because of how ridiculous it was.
Okay. 610-632-0975. He's owed one. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. That's how you get in. We'll hear from you after this. Mike Missanelli's job. To boot in the game last night, Arcia is showing up. Harper is one thing. Jared Kelenic had an illegal slide at second base last night. And he should go down too. There are two guys now on this list that need retribution. If you saw that slide that he had on Sosa to break up a double play, he slid and then he roll blocked him and got up. That's an illegal move. You got to pay attention to that as a baseball team. Those guys need to go down.
I think that's punching down for this Phillies team, man.
Did you see the slide?
I'm not worried.
He tried to hurt your player. You can't let that go. Come on, Bill.
What'd you think about Arcia not even owning up to it after? Like, when Harper does it in the playoffs.
He's a punk.
Yeah.
That's why he needs to go down.
They ask Harper in the playoffs. He says, yeah, I looked right at him.
Let me tell you something. If there's a double play situation tonight with that guy.
You're sliding hard.
You see what Kelenic did last night? And Arcia did with the home run trying to show up Harper? Somebody's got to pay the piper. Now, we have some text on this situation, right? Do we not?
Yeah, we do. Phil and East Norton checking in. Tell him, Mike, you do not show up your superstar high and inside.
That's all. Nola, at least, if you don't want to hit a guy, put a guy on base because you're down 2-0. Well, then you got to, send a little message. Close shave, as they used to call it. Give me a little shave.
So I'd rather send a message of who? Arcia?
I don't understand this guy. He's a meathead football guy, and all of a sudden now he's a pacifist. When it comes to fighting back in baseball, he takes the other side, right? What's the story with this guy?
In the right circumstance, I'm okay throwing high and inside. In this situation, I think you send a bigger message ignoring the guy.
So tonight, what should you do? What's the responsibility tonight? Two things the Braves did last night. Two things. What are you doing?
Ignoring it. I'm ignoring it.
I can't believe this. We have more text on this?
Yeah, we do. Dawood's checking in. It's a lock, Ray, that Bryce hits a home run tonight because he's the best showman in the game, in my humble opinion. I tweeted at Connor last night that Nola should have thrown some chin music to the next batter.
But see, nobody even mentioned the Kelenic thing. And I saw that play. I go, that's an automatic double play. You can't slide like that anymore. That used to have been in the 70s. They used to do that kind of thing, roll block you.
I got to look at the slide again. See, for me, that would be a different situation.
You got to look at the slide. He slid, and he stood up and roll blocked his torso and knocked him down.
But for Arcia, the way I would handle him, being the punk that he is if somebody hits a home run tonight, when I'm running past him, I'm just laughing at him. That's what I'm doing. I am laughing at him that he would think to recreate what Bryce Harper did in a playoff game in the fourth inning of a regular season game is ridiculous.
So you're hot and bothered about it, but yet you don't want to do anything about it. You want to ignore it. Now, when you ignore something, it festers. And it turns into an ulcer, Bill. It turns into an ulcer unless you deal with it.
It turns into an ulcer.
It turns into an ulcer.
I think they deal with it in a different way. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you have to throw at anybody tonight.
I can't. I
think you go in there.
I can't stand this passive attitude of yours. I can't stand it.
So, all right, let's play it out then. They throw at Ozuna or they throw at Arcia tonight. What do the Braves do? Do they retaliate?
No. Baseball players know that now the score is 1-up for them. The Braves look at it and go, yeah, Arcia probably shouldn't have done that. Those players don't like when a guy like that does that because they may have to pay the price for it. So once it's even, it's even. It was even until he did that last night. And then to boot, there was the bad slide, which nobody's paying attention to, and I can't believe it. He could have hurt that guy on that play.
You ever get cut off by a bad driver? And then when you drive by him, you just give him the look and the shaking of the head.
I give him the look, yeah.
Right?
A lot of people give the finger. I just give the look.
No, I don't want the finger. The finger. What I would like to see tonight is somebody go yard, and as they're passing Arcia on the base pass, you just give him that look you give the driver that doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
So you just want to give him the look.
Just give him a little shake of the head.
I need to go for the fact that he had the audacity to do it again needs more than a look, is what I'm telling you. You got to put the guy in his place now.
Okay? I think you do put him in his place.
A look makes it safe for him to do it again.
I think
if you drill somebody, that's the end of it.
But I think you do put him in his place by just simply ignoring him and then laughing at him, as opposed to now giving credibility to this guy who's a punk.
Okay, so you laugh at him, nothing's done, he does it again.
I got to tell you, Mike, as much as we've been one and the same for baseball this week, I'm on Bill's side with
You
this
don't
one.
agree. You don't agree with this, huh?
Especially last night, the situation with Ozuna, fastball high and in. I don't want to fall behind 1-0 against Ozuna. I don't.
You fell
especially-
behind 1-0 anyway.
I don't want to fall behind intentionally at 1-0 against Ozuna. I want to be competitive against the guy.
He was afraid to pitch to him anyway. He threw him ball one.
He threw him a knuckle curve.
He threw him a
'cause he's
knuckle
trying to get him
curve on the
out.
outside part of the plate, which wasn't a strike.
The goal is to get the guy out. I'm not messing with falling behind Ozuna right now. I'm not messing with. I was surprised. I thought you were going to full hit him. The fact that we want to fall behind.
I didn't say full
I know.
hit him.
I'm
All right?
surprised.
You're going to go 1-0 to him anyway. Then make the 1-0 pitch up and in. What's the difference?
What's a competitive pitch? I want to see
Competitive
Ozuna be
pitch.
challenged.
Up and in is a competitive pitch. He's an aggressive hitter. You jam him up and in.
He's not swinging at the ball coming up at
I
him.
don't know. He when that ball is released out of a right-handed pitcher's hand to a power hitter, it looks good when it's in that spot at first, and then you lay off it when you wait on it and lay off it.
Hey, if he lays off it, you're down
Let me
1-0.
ask you a question, Bill. I play still in a baseball league. The hardest thrower in the league several weeks ago hit me in the ribs.
Did you charge?
No, he thumped me to the point where it was and I've been hit a lot in my life with pitches. This got me in the worst possible spot, which was like underneath the armpit in the rib where there's no meat at all. So I played the rest of the game, but I was really hurting. I couldn't breathe for the next 2 days. I finally went and got it checked out. He fractured 4 of my ribs.
Wow. That's painful too, man. There's nothing you could do for fractured
So now,
ribs.
what do you do? Now, this is a rec league, so this is not the Major League Baseball. If a Major League pitcher hits a guy in the ribs and fractures 4 ribs, do you think there's going to be no retribution for that?
Oh, there will absolutely.
Okay.
But different scenario here. You got a guy, Arcia, who waited 10 months to do back to Harper what Harper did to him in a playoff game. I think you send more of a message by laughing it off and ignoring the guy. And then when someone hits a homer tonight and you go past him, you just laugh and shake your head at him like you're an embarrassment.
Well, listen,
an embarrassment.
I'm more of an old school guy than you guys are when it comes to baseball, because to me, that's 2 violations last night where they tried to show up your team. And you can't just sit there and take it, because baseball polices itself. Nobody's going to help you out. No referee's going to run on the field and call a technical foul. That doesn't happen in baseball. Your only thing to police yourself is to stand up for yourself, man.
Let me ask you, because a couple of weeks ago, Strom threw at somebody, and I can't remember who it
Gavin
was.
Lux.
Who was it?
Gavin Lux.
And what was it? It was a retaliation thing, right?
Grove, I think, had gone high and in on Casty. He hit Casty.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that. I came in the next day.
Liked it.
We talked about it a lot on the show, and I was okay with it. And I compared it to, when you say policing yourself, I compared it to fighting in hockey. Now, are you okay with fighting in hockey? Because they police themselves.
No, they don't. They have officials. We talk about they police themselves.
That's what fighting's all
They call
about in hockey.
misconducts. They call instigator penalties. That's punishable by an official.
So
Don't
you're-
police yourself.
So you're not on board with the fighting in hockey?
No,
as
because it's
policing.
ridiculous. It cheapens the sport.
Oh.
It's not about the sport at that point.
See, I think fighting in hockey polices the sport.
How in the world can you possibly think, in this day and age in the NHL, that fighting polices the sport when it's punished? There's always an instigator penalty.
So then what do you think the purpose of fighting in hockey is?
There is no purpose. That's why that sport has changed to the point where it's ridiculous to fight in hockey.
I disagree. I completely disagree with
Such
that.
a meathead.
And I was an
can't
ice hockey
believe
player,
it. I
man.
know you're an ice hockey player, but you know that's penalized. There are 3 officials on the ice that penalize that. Where have you been? You sit in the penalty box for 5 minutes.
It's a 5-minute penalty, but it is a part of hockey. It allows players
Not
to
a part
police
of hockey.
themselves.
It's a stupid part of hockey. It has nothing to do with the game, and it doesn't police itself at all.
That's exactly what it's
it
for.
doesn't. You put your team at a hardship when you instigate a fight because you're off the ice for 5 minutes.
If you instigate. But if you're going to take a run at our star player,
stop with this.
you're going to have to answer for it.
Dumbass hockey mentality that you're giving me now. Let's go to Mitch. Mitch, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Mitch?
Mike, you're getting mean. It didn't take you that long. You're all
Oh,
upset.
come on with the fighting in hockey. It's not even the same ballpark.
I'm not talking about the fighting in hockey. I'm talking about
That's why I'm hot at Bill.
Yeah, I'm talking about
that was
the
a dumb statement.
Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
You think a guy like Harper cares about that dude?
Well, he cared about it last year in the playoffs, didn't he? Cared about it in the playoffs when he circled the base twice and stared him down?
Who cares about last
Wait, Mitch, answer my question. Did he care about it last year?
I don't know.
What are you talking about? You don't know. He stared him down. It was a national story.
Big deal. Big deal. It's a no story now because it was a year ago.
I got nothing to say to you.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say to you because you made an erroneous statement. Because he did care about it last year to the point where he stared him down.
Let's talk about the real issue.
Go ahead. What's the real issue, Mitch?
The real issue is Bryce Harper is getting old, and all the years of playing baseball is showing what he's doing now, which is he has no clue at the plate.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I disagree. I think he's got a lot of baseball left.
I think it's just a slump, Mitch.
He's in a horrible slump. I mean, when you watch him at the plate, you can see a guy that's taken a lot of wear and tear over. How many years does he play baseball now?
How do you see the wear and tear at this point when slumps happen all the time to really good players? Where's the wear and tear come in? Is his swing slower? Like, where's the wear and tear? Does he look worse at first base? Like, give me the wear and tear example.
The wear and tear example, and I don't have the numbers in front
Of course you don't have the numbers. You never have the numbers. You never have an argument.
No.
You don't do your homework when you spout off nonsense.
Finally, we agree on something, man. Bryce Harper's going to be just fine.
He'll be fine. Now, has he played a lot of baseball? Of course he's played a lot of baseball. Does his swing have a tremendous amount of torque that may wear his body down? I guess, but not now. I mean, he's fine, all right? He's just not seeing the ball right now. And sometimes you don't see the ball in baseball clearly as you see it during other periods of the year. For whatever reason it is, it's tough to see a baseball with spin rate. It's tough. It's not like a golf ball that's teed up. It's not like a fastball that doesn't have spin on it.
Whenever I even consider questioning Bryce Harper, when it gets to that point, he usually bounces back in a big way. He's going to bounce back. But he is. Since he made the comment that the superstars got to show up, that was July 28th, he's 18 for 81. He's batting 222.
See what you did? See what your opinion did? It brings out idiots like Mitch from Phoenix.
My opinion.
To agree with you.
My opinion.
Mitch from Phoenix, I agree with Bill. I agree with Bill. You should just ignore it because he ignored it before. No, he didn't ignore it before. Bryce Harper got under Bryce Harper's skin. That's why he stared him down.
A lot of people have been agreeing with me, Ray, this week.
Okay, let's not go that far.
All right?
Let's not go that far. Let's not get ridiculous.
Non-baseball people agree with you.
If Harper goes deep tonight, is the score even?
Non-pedigree baseball people agree with you, Bill.
Jason Stark, Mike Schmidt, John Kruk.
John Kruk. If John Kruk was on last night, do you think he would have noticed that? You think he would have said, of all people, John Kruk, that team lived for those kind of moments. They would point him out.
Especially the Braves, too.
In a different scenario, I'm on board with Mike. I'm throwing high and inside. In this situation, I just think Arcia is such a punk that you don't even give credibility to what he did.
I tell you,
they just laugh
I don't
at
think
him.
Arcia believed what he was doing as he was doing it. Watching him run around, there wasn't like a real swagger to him doing it. He just was kind of looking. No, there wasn't.
There was a swagger. He looked at. He made it a point to look at him, and then he rounded second. He'd look back at him again, like, "Hey, how you like me now?"
Yeah, he tried it like 3 times to look at him. The Harper run the other time was one look. He gave him the glare and went moving.
But he tried to look at him. To prove a point. It doesn't matter if Harper doesn't notice it or whatever. Arcia committed the overt act. That's what he did. Now let me tell you Lenny Dykstra's story.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be a good one.
Based on this 93 team. Lenny Dykstra co-hosted 2 shows with me here. Now, he's a complete nutbag.
Was he a
right?
nutbag back then?
Of course he is. But one, he was more controllable than the other. So I happen to know that team would fight at the drop of a pin. And that's why people adored him in this city, right? Because they wouldn't take no mess from anybody. So Lenny Dykstra had literally had a fight in the batter's box with Rick Dempsey, the catcher from the Dodgers. They dropped. He went after him like fist fight. So I said, Lenny, what precipitated the fight with Dempsey? He goes, I'll tell you what precipitated it. He goes, Dempsey was yapping all game long, yap to everybody. You don't do that to us. I was in the dugout. I turned to Dutch. I go, Dutch. He says one word to me. He's going down. So Lenny goes, first pitch is a ball. I know it's a ball. Now, mind you, I'm hitting 405 at the time. And the big Dodger Stadium has Lenny Dykstra, 405. I take the first pitch. Umpire calls it a strike. I step out. And I go, excuse me, can you read? And the umpire goes, yeah, Lenny, I can read. Why? He goes, you see that big scoreboard up there? What's it say? It says 4-0 bleeping 5. And you know why? Because I know the bleeping strike zone. And he said, Dempsey stood up and said, get back in the box, you crumb. And that was it. Boom. That's what baseball was baseball.
But would you
That's
agree?
what you expect from Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah,
I
that
would
is.
expect
That's
that one from Marf or Nola especially. If I saw Nola fight.
But he checked it out with Dutch. Dutch. He says one thing. Dutch didn't say, no, Lenny, don't do that. Dutch went, yeah, he deserves it. That's the point.
Mike gave me some interesting information I didn't know this week, too, about Lenny Dykstra. He's Meadow Soprano's father-in-law.
That's correct.
Jamie Lynn Sigler's married to Lenny's son.
In fact, she was in the news the other day. Her son was sick. And through the grace of God, he pulled through. It was a serious type of illness. And they had a picture of him in the hospital, and he was wearing a Phillies jersey. He had an old-school powder blue Phillies jersey with the old-school P on it. So he must now know that his grandfather, who I'm sure he's never talked to once.
Yeah.
Maybe he has. I don't know. But maybe he knows that his grandfather played for the Phillies, and that's why he wears the Phillies. But Jamie Lynn Sigler, Meadow Soprano, is married to Cutter Dykstra, his first son.
Huh.
Interesting little fact there.
I did not know that either.
But listen, can we at least agree on this about this whole Arcia thing? Mm-hmm. It was corny as hell, man. Did you not find that corny as hell last night?
I did. I found it a throwable offense. My only opinion on it is that he's got to go down. That was my opinion on it. And when Kellenick did the same thing, I said the same thing. He's got to go down. You can't let people run roughshod on your team. You got to stick up for your squad. You got to stick up for your players. Now, we'll see what happens with Kellenick tonight. Now, maybe he won't play. There's the left there. They're throwing Christopher Sanchez. Maybe Kellenick could be out of the lineup. And it's a good damn thing because he's got to go down.
So if you could only throw high and inside to one player tonight, one batter, are you going Ozuna?
Either one. No. I at this point, Arcia's got to go down.
I just think
now when Arcia did it, you weren't going to get him until innings later, and you don't know at the game situation. At 2-0, the first pitch to your main player, who's up the first bat after Arcia did that in the next inning, you got to chin music him.
If top of the first, Harper goes yard, is the score even here?
If he stares him down,
I think he laughs at him.
If he passes Arcia and laughs at him and does something like that, yeah, then it's even. Not just the home run. 610-632-0977. Excuse me, 0975. Show and the 10 o'clock hour really prompted some people's emotions on this particular Arcia topic. 10 o'clock hour was brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows, plus make no down payments with no payments, no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or online at windownation.com. So the Phillies with a big win last night.
Get excited!
That's right. Get excited. See what I did there?
I liked it. He figured out the drop board.
I'm wondering who he's got up next to him, whose drop board it is.
It's Andrews.
He hasn't seen that you built two off ready for him. There's two for you already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
MM1 and MM2.
All right, I like this one.
Andrew's got a good one.
I
Andrew's
can
the one I
work
use
with
the
this
most.
one. Big win last night for the Phils. There you go.
He's going to have too much fun now, Ray.
I saw him eyeing it up coming back from the break. I was like,
610-632-0975. A lot of people want to weigh in on this whole thing. We got a lot of text on this, how the Phillies should handle two situations, not just one. Arcia trying to show up Harper by eyeballing him after hitting a home run, and then Jared Kelenic with a legal slide that the umpire really should have called an automatic double play on. You can't do that thing anymore, and you could have hurt Sosa. In fact, Sosa, I was surprised Sosa didn't get in Kelenic's face because he just walked off like it was nothing. Can't be doing that kind of stuff. Had it with this.
One I'd have to go back and watch. The Arcia one, I think you just send more of a message.
When are you going to watch it? We're an hour in. Wait. You going to go home and watch it? Like, what?
I'm going to YouTube it.
Why you have a YouTube? We've been talking about it for an hour. You haven't seen it yet?
I saw it last night. I'm saying I got to watch it again because
you've had all this time to watch it again. That's my point.
It didn't stand out to me that much, Ray. Did it jump out to
Yeah,
you?
it did jump out to me.
Stand out to you. It was a blatant. As soon as it happened, they didn't have to replay it. I saw it. That's illegal. Can't do that stuff anymore. Let's go to my personal text account, which is Mike Miss 25. See what the people are saying. Lord Tobriama says, I cannot believe that Bill and Ray are this soft. Jamal Hutchinson tweets, I like Bill, but he would have a cup of coffee with Putin after World War III.
I was spared on that one.
Yeah, that one, it left you alone. There's been a lot of people seem to be agreeing with Mike on this. I just think you send a bigger message if you laugh at the guy. Don't even give credibility to how ridiculous and corny it was last night.
No message at all.
It was so
you're letting him get away with it. Let's go to Brian in Hazleton. Brian, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Okay, listen, I totally agree with you on this. You certainly you cannot, now listen, if you want to debate when you want to show them up or whenever you want to retaliate, that's fine. But you cannot let that go unpunished. And to me, the Ozuna home run from the night before when it took him an hour and a half to get around the bases torqued me even worse than the...
Well, that happens. Baseball has changed to the point where, those pimp walks happen all the time now. So it's commonplace. So that shouldn't. But when a guy overtly tries to eyeball you, and you know the history of that whole thing, well, that needs to be dealt with. Well,
correct. And I alluded to the situation years ago when Martin Havlat high-sticked Recchi, and they waited and he came off the suspension, and they didn't play him, or he wasn't on the ice, and the Flyers said, okay, we'll take it into our own hands, and we'll justify. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be taken care of. I totally agree with you. Totally.
All right. See, Brian, you're a true baseball man. You can't let your team get shown up like that, especially in that ballpark. Atlanta is a rival, right? If they would have swept that series...
especially what's on the line as well.
Exactly.
You can put away the division. You can put away, put them on ice.
Exactly. It's a big series.
Get the momentum going into the playoffs.
I hear you. I am totally with you. Now, we'll see what happens tonight.
But his analogy there is a hockey player getting a stick to the face and then somebody standing up for him. That's not what happened here.
But baseball is not going to get a stick to the face. Baseball, you have to pick your little battles. So that's it's not as macho as what could happen in hockey, but it's macho nonetheless for baseball. You got to eyeball it, your best player, who you've had that back and forth. It was evened up. They already evened it. Harper evened it up by eyeballing him back. That's even Steven. Now this guy takes it another step? Nah. Bill and Lansdale, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Bill.
Hey, Mike, I mean, baseball's a fickle sport, and you don't know when you're going to rally behind something. I mean, Nola really should have put one in the ribs of the next guy up.
Well, not at 2-0. You know, like the score is not conducive to put a guy on base to start an inning. Like the first guy gets on. Normally, first guy gets on, it's trouble. So I wouldn't have hit him, but I would have thrown it up and in.
Well, Harper's been getting pretty picked on lately. The crowd, he's one of the very few guys on that team that could pick you up and carry a team. I just think he kind of missed an opportunity to maybe to galvanize.
Ah, so you're saying, so this is for Bill's ears. You're saying if you do something like that, you galvanize a squad because nobody is going to go after your best player. That's taboo.
CC Sabathia would have folded the ball boy if he got close enough to the plate.
Hey, this is to use Bill's hockey analogy, like going after your best player with a slew foot. And you can't do that, right, Bill?
No, and that's I mean, it's unwritten rules, blah 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 blah. But I think Nola missed an opportunity to maybe rally there, a little rallying point for the guys.
All right, Billy. See, this is a different thing when he said unwritten rules. There are written rules in every other sport. There are unwritten rules in baseball.
There are
that
unwritten
you
rules.
have to implement.
But
the players.
I don't know, man. I just think you do more.
Soft.
I think you do more ignoring the guy.
This hour brought to you by Charmin.
By the way, he got up 0-1 on Ozuna.
You what?
He got up 0-1 on Ozuna.
Oh, he did?
Knuckle curve fouled off. Low and away.
Oh, okay.
So it was 0-1
low and away. Look where the pitch was. Look at it.
It was right there.
Look where the pitch was.
It was low and away, right at the corner of the zone.
Low and away.
Ozuna probably thought that was right down the middle, and he was going to send another message.
Low and away. That's weak.
Yeah. It is a nasty
strike.
pitch.
So weak.
The
It's
knuckle
a strike.
curve. See, I'm different than Ray, though. You didn't want to throw at him because you didn't want to go down 1-0 in a count to Ozuna.
I also don't want to, like, when you talk about throwing at a guy, I don't want to put a guy on
cares
base.
at 1-0.
See, I don't care as much
at
about
this
that.
point, when you get ahead 0-1, now the next pitch says that's to be up and in. You gave yourself some leeway if you got a foul ball on pitch one.
See,
Bill
I don't
from
care.
Lansdale there is talking about galvanizing the team. They went down 2-0. This happened. The team won the game.
Yeah, but you didn't know that until the end. You were down. You were
the
down
Braves
2.
didn't score
You
another
were down
run.
2-0, and the guy showed you up. That's what you know at the
Yeah,
time.
team came back and
You
won.
can't look at the result again. Here's another guy. Look at the result. Oh, they won the game. Well, they didn't win the game in the 5th inning.
You could say, were they galvanized by it happening and won a game? Were they galvanized by doing something? The result was the result. If they won the game and they had thrown at someone, we'd say, wow, they were galvanized by the moment.
Two things can be true. You can win the game, but you can also fight back at that. Two things can be true, Ray.
I think their messaging after the game tells you, okay, yeah, it happened. We're going to
610-632-0975 is how you get. I got to fight both of you today. Both of you today.
It's about time Ray came over to this side.
Don't get used to it.
Both softies. I got Cotton Candy 1 and Cotton Candy 2. Ken on a cell. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ken.
Mike, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Ken?
Listen, first of all, I was at your winery on Saturday. Got 2 bottles at Nana's.
Oh, nice. The little Nona Cellar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's produced by our winery. Yes, that's a good blend. That's a great red, by the way, Ken.
Yes. My girl got the white. She got a bottle of white. I got the bottle of
Oh,
red.
beautiful. Thank you, Ken, for patronizing the great winery, which is called the Tally Vineyards, but now it's changed to Briganti by the Bay.
Absolutely had a great time out there.
Thank you.
Secondly, how's the pup? How's your dog?
My
doing?
dog is great. Just turned 9, if you can believe it.
Ooh,
She's 9 years old now. I started talking about her when she was a puppy and the mayhem that she got into, and that's why I wrote a children's book about her, and now she's just a mature lady.
Now on to the right topic. You're absolutely right, Mike. They should have been throwing chin music the rest of the game. I mean, they should have, if anything, they need to send a message. First of all, the Braves still think they're entitled because they've won the NL East for so many years in a row. This was an opportunity to take it all, to go in there and grab it all, every bit of it. Grab it in their house.
Well, listen, they got a game to do something. I don't know. They might not do anything. They might ignore it. To me, I like the Kelenic thing gets me because that could hurt somebody.
Yeah.
and that's got to be dealt with. Now, you whatever you want to think about Arcia, you think it's childish, and you go at him for staring down Harper. I don't think it is, because Harper's your best player, and this guy rekindled that whole situation.
Correct. Well, like you said, the sliding in the second. If there's a double play today, I better see something happen.
I agree with you. And see, baseball, it's gotten timid where they don't do the retribution anymore, and I don't think I like it.
Come on, Mike. All sports have gotten soft now, Mike. All of them.
Yeah, I guess. All right,
it's
man.
the new era of sports, and it's not good.
I hear you, Ken.
Listen, I appreciate you, Mike. Good to have you back, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you. You been down to the winery yet?
I have not been down there yet,
You're a
Mike.
Jersey guy. How can you not be?
I got to get there.
KMA Courthouse. Ray, you been down there?
I have not been down there
You
yet.
go to the shore?
I do go to the shore.
What's the matter? You can't go inland a little bit?
So in
Now I
Ray,
got to.
Huh?
in me
I
and
have
Ray's
to now.
defense, though, up until this show started, we were working a lot of weekends.
You got to take it.
What do you mean? I'm
yeah.
still
Oh,
working
you
the
still-
weekends, man.
Ray's still doing
Ray's
something.
still working the weekends. You got you seeing anybody right now, Ray?
No,
Oh, so you're a single.
I am.
All right,
Single, ready to mingle over there.
This would be a great first date.
It's like down the shore.
Take it at a winery on a Saturday afternoon. We got the music playing.
So I
Sounds
would
good
say
to me.
I would say second date. You go coffee first date. It's quick. It's easy. If it's not working out, you can get out.
Ray doesn't look like a coffee man. He's 24. Are you a coffee guy?
If the first
you
date,
are? Okay.
he is a coffee guy. If the first date goes well at the coffee, then you invite her to the winery. It's got to be the second date, though.
I don't know. Do 24-year-old girls drink coffee like this? Like you take them for coffee?
Yeah.
Is that-
The
yeah?
coffee date works.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in and out.
Okay.
In and out if
All
it doesn't
right,
work
man.
out. Like my first date with my wife, we went to coffee. It was good. 15 minutes.
Oh, but
we
you-
realized we wanted a second date.
But you were a veteran.
I was a lot older than Ray.
Yeah, you were a veteran.
I'll say,
you were
I'm-
a veteran relationship man too. So it's a mature thing to do. Is you have the coffee. I'm just wondering what the kids
Yeah,
do.
but if he takes a
More of
girl
a
all the way to the
drinksman for-
winery, that's a long commitment right there. If you don't like her, if it's a first date and you don't like her, now you're stuck driving
it's a
together
day.
all the way down the shore.
No, you don't have. It's a day at the shore. You go to the shore. And you go, hey, let's spend a couple hours down here at Mike Missanelli's winery. We'll sit out in the sun and we'll watch the grapes because the grapes are now getting ready for harvest coming up. So you got all vines with all that fruit on it.
Second date.
It does sound like that's a day-long commitment, right? That might be a
No,
second
isn't
date.
you go in for an hour. You share a bottle of wine. You go, on the way somewhere else, like on the way to dinner. You take a dinner.
Oh, yeah,
and, you
I
stop
can see
before
that.
dinner. You stop at the winery. You share a bottle.
Is
I've
it
read-
wrong to just be a drinks guy for the first date? That's usually the go-to here. I think for my age, that's a pretty go-to.
that's fine.
pretty
You
standard.
got to be careful though, because sometimes you throw that out there. Hey, do you want to grab drinks? Doesn't always send the right message. I always would offer. I always would offer both. Hey, do you want to grab drinks? Do you want to grab coffee? I leave it up to the woman to make that decision.
Well, first of all, if it's a first date, you're going out for drinks. You're having more than one, because that eases the conversation, and you don't really understand that you're drinking a lot. So I would be cautious about that.
yes.
I also get more annoyed when you throw out drinks in it because so all of a sudden becomes dinner.
What? Because after you drink, then it
Then
becomes dinner?
all of a sudden, oh yeah.
So what's wrong with that? If you got the good conversation, you go to dinner. If you don't have the good conversation, dinner's out.
No, but I mean the initial understanding of this was drinks. Now we're throwing food every which way. I'm not made of money, so
Well, I don't understand. You can just go for drinks. You don't have to
drinks.
attach to dinner. To it.
absolutely. But some people take the drinks as the invitation of, oh yeah, we got the food.
Now you
menu
got to
out
set
there.
the parameters early, man.
Yeah,
Well, like nibble food.
like a little appetizer's good.
Well,
We start
yeah.
rolling meals here. Now we're in trouble.
Who's gonna? You start
Someone
rolling
on,
meals. Where does the meal come from?
Someone on YouTube said, for Ray's age group, the first date is Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, come on. Is that MBD? I swear if
It
that's
is
alphabet
MBD.
soup.
It is MBD.
I can't stand.
All right, a couple lines have opened. We've had some good activity on this subject, and we'll get to the text as well. And also, Bruce Springsteen in town last night, and he's doing another show. What do you think of a group of dudes who go to every Springsteen concert, Bill? I'm going to out some people after this.
Yeah, we'll talk
I'm going to
about it coming up.
out a media friend of mine.
Yeah, we'll talk
All
about it.
right, Mike Missanelli Show continues after this. 3 hours and 10 minutes at the old ballpark. Now, the grass, I don't know what that's going to do. The grass, you saw Truist Field last night, right?
Yeah, it's a mess out there.
First of all, are you a Bruce guy?
I'm not a Bruce guy. I'm not an anti-Bruce guy. I'm just in the middle.
What do you think of a group of 4 dudes going to every Bruce Springsteen concert, no matter where it is?
It's interesting.
I don't want to even mention his name, but there's a certain media personality in this town. That happens to be a friend of mine who you see occasionally on television. I don't know if I should mention the station, but it's a station that is an all sports station, except for in the afternoon when they run infomercials.
He's been on the station.
Yes, he has.
He's been on the Fanatic.
I don't want to mention his name, but he's got a group of like 4 that go to all these concerts together. What's your feeling about that? Grown men going in groups of 4 to every Bruce Springsteen concert.
Well, you may not have to mention his name because there's a video circulating Twitter of him having a good old time.
I'm sure he's listening, and he might want to call for his review of last night's concert. But however, Bruce Springsteen, I've seen Bruce twice. My limit is to see bands, even if I like them a lot, only twice.
That's your limit?
That's it. Except for Hall & Oates, which I've seen 10 times over the years. But now they're no longer. So that's over. But like my 2 go-to bands right now would be the National and Manchester Orchestra. I've seen both of them twice. The National's coming again. I have no desire to see him again. That's it. I'm done. So I would never. I've seen Bruce twice. That's the end.
I haven't been to many concerts in my life, but now that I'm thinking back, the only concert I've seen, or only band I've seen more than once, would be Roger Waters, because I did The Wall when it was at Citizens Bank Park, and I did the Us and Them when it came a couple years back.
Did you have to have a heroin needle in your arm to watch that concert?
It is a wacky,
Jesus.
wacky.
So you're
concert,
a Pink Floyd man?
I do like Pink Floyd. I do. I think one of my favorite songs of all time is "Time." Love that song. But I have an eclectic taste of music. I'm all over the place.
Well, yeah. You like music that comes with a heroin needle, basically.
So Kevin Cooney checked in.
What did he say?
He said to me, "Don't you dare badmouth Springsteen." Kevin Cooney has seen him. Ray, what do you think? How many times do you think Kevin Cooney has seen Bruce Springsteen?
13.
Close. 11 times.
Yeah, see, I really don't get that. I really don't get it. Like, what else are you going to see? It's a great show, okay. But what else are you going to see the 11th time? I don't understand that. But anyway, last night, he started off with Atlantic City. The song Atlantic City, which the first lyric is, well, they blew up the Chicken Man in Philly last night, right? Remember the Chicken Man?
I'm bad.
Oh, the Chicken Man
I'm bad with
in the
these.
Mafia got Philip Testa. Remember they blew up his porch? In the old
I thought you were talking about the song. I thought you were talking about the song. I don't know the song, but I know I know the reference.
The first lines when they blew up the Chicken Man in Philly last night.
Yeah, I know the reference.
Okay.
You got a good voice, too.
Thank you.
He may be in the wrong business.
So anyway, he did 30 songs. See, that's too long of a concert. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're a Springsteen maniac.
Yeah, not for the Springsteen guy.
3 hours, 10 minutes, 30 songs. Let me see how many of these you know, Bill. Atlantic City you start off with. Lonesome Day.
No. If I heard it, maybe. I'm not going to know any of the names.
Night. No Surrender. Ghosts. Working on the Highway. Promised Land. You know that? I'm in the Promised Land.
Yeah, I know that
All
song.
right, Spirited in Night, which was made famous by...
Norman Greenbaum.
No.
Oh, that's Spirit in the Sky.
Manfred Mann's Earth Band recorded Spirited in the Night after Bruce wrote it.
Yeah, I'm not
And then Hungry Heart. Everybody got a hungry
heart.
There you go. Youngstown. Long Walk Home. The East Street Shuffle.
I don't know that one.
You don't know the East Street? Ray, you got to give me some East Street Shuffle. Come on, man. Night Shift. Streets of Philadelphia. How about that one?
I know that one.
All right. Racing in the Street. Last Man Standing. Back Streets. You know that one.
Yeah, I know them.
Back Streets. Back Street. Because the Night. Now, Patti Smith recorded that.
Yeah.
Because the night belongs to lover.
Oh, because
So he did that song, but Patti Smith made it famous. She's the one, Wrecking Ball, The Rising. Oh, The Rising.
Wrecking Ball, is that Miley Cyrus?
No. Badlands, Thunder Road. Come on, man. Thunder Road?
If I heard the song, maybe.
Oh, wait, Born to Run, of course.
Yeah, I know that one.
All right. Rosalita.
I don't know. I don't know.
Rosalita, Bobby Jean, Dancing in the Dark.
Wait.
Dancing in the Dark. You seen the video? Courtney Cox was the young girl in the video. Did you remember that? Here you go.
Oh, I know this song.
Dancing in the Dark. 10th Avenue, freeze out. Twist and Shout. And he did a second encore with one song, I'll See You in My Dreams. So he did an encore of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs.
Well,
7 songs.
And I saw on Twitter, but I didn't watch it. He did something about the Giants and the fans booed. Ray, did you see this?
I saw that there were people I wouldn't say upset. Upset's probably a strong word. I did see that he got booed because he sang something about the Giants. And here we go. We'll pull this up.
What do you got? Do you shuffle?
Wrecking Ball is a line about the Meadowlands and the Giants. And he got booed immediately and then dropped an Eagles into the mic to try and help himself.
Oh, that's a violation.
I mean, that's
right there.
for a veteran that's played that many concerts.
Yeah.
You got to know your audience.
It's an error.
Yeah, but
It's an error by
he's
him.
not an Eagles fan.
Yeah, but you got to know that. You got to
Yeah,
know
but what
if
I'm
you're
saying
singing
is
about-
stay true to your team.
No.
You
I'm
don't
not
throw
saying-
out an Eagles fakely.
You don't have to throw out a fake Eagles, but you have to at least work around the lyrics of the song there. You're gonna run yourself into trouble there.
Yeah. See, I was an early Springsteen guy and not a later Springsteen guy. So when he first came out, like his first album was Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. It had like a postcard on it, like what you used to send. And then it was The Wild, the Innocent, and East Street Shuffle. So those two albums were not commercially successful to the point where the album company was going to drop them. The label was going to drop them. And then all of a sudden, boom, here comes Born to Run. And that started the legend of Bruce Springsteen.
I know that one.
610-632-0975. Back after this. The 610-632-0975. And I think there's going to be some reaction to this. The Eagles have made a trade. They have acquired slot man Jahan Dotson from the Washington Commanders for a third and a seventh. And they, Jahan Dotson plus a fifth rounder from Washington. So Jahan Dotson, the Penn State speedster, who's a pretty good player and will fit perfectly in the slot. And we looked at the slot and go, okay, that's still up in the air. Who are they going to have in the slot? They haven't had anybody really that emerged, and a couple guys were sidelined with concussions. But Jahan Dotson, what do you think, Bill?
I like it. I like it a lot. Look, this has been Howie Roseman's MO. He likes to get former first-round draft picks from other teams. He does that a lot. This is a first-round pick from only 2 years ago. You look at his numbers, they've been pretty good on a bad Commanders team. Last year, 49 catches, 518 yards. That would destroy what you got from your wide receiver 3 last year. Quez, OZ, and Julio combined for 380 last year. So if you can get 500 yards from Jahan Dotson in the slot, this offense just got a lot more powerful.
This is absolutely approved by Saquon.
Oh, yeah.
The thumbs up on that. Let me tell you a quick Jahan Dotson story. It involves Brian Westbrook, our good friend Brian Westbrook, former Eagle great. I was itching to take Brian to a Penn State game so he could see what real football crowd was like. You know, because he played at Pierce College, right? And
well, when he played,
10 people watched his games on Saturday, right? So I said, Brian, I got to take you to Penn State. So Villanova played Penn State a couple years ago. So we go to the game. It's a noon game, so the tailgating wasn't exactly a high level, especially because it was Villanova. So we were on the sidelines, and Brian he goes, let's go to Villanova's sidelines. I get a couple passes with, and Brian was really high on Villanova. He was in the huddle with them as they broke to take the field.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he was into it. He thought his Wildcats were going to do something in this game, right? So Penn State gets the first possession, and the kick the ball in the end zone. They take over at the 20, and Jahan Dotson is flanked wide right. And they got single coverage on him. They got a cornerback in press coverage on him. And I nudged him. I go, Brian, that's not good. First play, 80-yard touchdown to Jahan Dotson.
What was B. West's reaction?
He was apoplectic.
Yeah. I was there for that game.
The air came out of that. The Dotson burned him on the first play.
That was the most. This game's already over.
You could
feel. You sat down.
Right, it's over.
If you were late getting in there from tailgating.
I go, Brian, they're single covered him. Boom, touchdown.
Don't you think this is interesting, though, that it's an in-division trade, Mike? This is the second time now. The Commanders traded with the Eagles so the Eagles could move up in the draft to get Cooper DeJean. And now they trade with him again, giving them a wide receiver.
The Commanders, must not think much of him, and B, think they're not going to do anything this year anyway because they're starting a rookie quarterback and they're crossing their fingers really that Jaden Daniels can actually play in this league. I think it's when you send a rookie quarterback out with a bad team, it never works out. So they're going, okay, we're not going to do anything this year. We get a third and a seventh. That's all right for us. Jahan doesn't fit in whatever we're doing with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, it's a good move, though, because who was going to be...
a great move. I mean, he steps right in as their slot, right?
He has to, because he was competing with Paris Campbell, John Ross, Johnny Wilson, who's a sixth-round rookie, Britton Covey, who I do think is still going to have a role on this offense.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the answer at your wide receiver.
Ross is going to get cut now.
Ross won't make the team.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson will be on the practice squad.
It'll be interesting now what they do with Paris Campbell, because I thought they were high on him, but he's been battling that injury all camp.
Yeah, he's gone. So a Penn State guy knows that Ohio State guy. That's okay in my book any day of the week. All right, let's go to Ari and Warminster. Ari, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ari.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What's up, Ari? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I was going to talk all Phillies, but wow, what a trade. How he does it again. I have no idea, other than giving up on the season, why Washington would trade Jahan Dotson. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't followed the Commanders, but maybe he just doesn't fit with the kind of offense they're going to run.
I guess so. I have a good story for you for baseball retaliation, and I agree with you, first off. So I'm playing Sunday League baseball, adult league, 25 and over, a few years back, and we're down big. My team was terrible. And the other team is taking extra bases, scoring on a single from second, and I took exception to that. Gave a little shove, a little, arguing, no punches thrown. Next time we play the team, I tell my manager, I'm like, I'm getting hit, right? And he said, oh, yeah, you probably are. And I got one in the back of the leg, took it, went to first, and it was over.
You took it. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
you
so
take
I
it.
took it. I knew it was coming, and it was totally fine.
Yeah. And it's even, right? At that point, it's even.
At that point,
And that's the thing about baseball. Once you step beyond the even, then you start it all over again. And that's what Arcia did last night.
Yep, I agree. They should retaliate. We'll see what they end up doing.
They probably won't. I'm telling you, baseball is now different. They probably won't. That rubbed me the wrong way. When I tell you, the slide rubbed me the wrong way more than Arcia did. I got to be honest with you.
I watched it during the break.
Slide?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What'd you think of it?
I'm with you. He does come up into Sosa, knocks him over.
He roadblocked him. It was a stand-up slide, and he rolled him.
So I do think maybe you see something with that. But can we address this caller for a second?
Yeah, let's address the caller.
He's comparing what happened last night to men's league baseball.
Yeah, it's the principle.
Now, come on.
Like, first of all, you should score on a single, so that's not an egregious violation, right? But there are some unwritten rules that, like if you're up 8 runs, you shouldn't be stealing a base, right? There's no reason to be stealing a base. So that's a thing that's an egregious offense on the unwritten rules.
Let's put ourselves into Arcia's psyche here. Why does he do what he did last night?
I don't know, because he's a punk.
Because
why he did what he did.
Why do punks do what they do? It's because they want a reaction.
Okay.
So that's why I think you send a bigger message.
I don't think
by doing nothing but laughing.
I don't think he wants a reaction by getting drilled. He doesn't want that reaction. He's not thinking of that when he does it. He's thinking of his personality, which is to be a punk. He's not thinking of the ramifications that he could get shot in the temple, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just think you send silence is deafening sometimes. You just run by him after you do something good. You shake your head and you laugh. That's what I would do.
All right, let me ask you this question. This is, again, I'm going to give you another rec league circumstance. So I played in these age group leagues my whole life. So I'm in an age group. I used to pitch. I was never a pitcher, but I still had a good arm. So
yeah.
And I could throw strikes. I had a curveball the whole bit. I pitched when I was like a younger kid. So I'm pitching in this league, and I'm waiting for the batter to get in. Now, this guy is one of these kids that probably never played in an organized league, but he watched it on TV, what they do, because he's got the high socks. He's got wristbands on his wrist and his elbow. He's got eye black. He's got like all the bangles, right? Right. So and he's not stepping in the box. I'm waiting for this kid to get in the box. He's got all this stuff on, right? The eye black, the whole bit. And he's digging in with his right foot in the batter's box, but he doesn't have his left foot in yet. Now, I'm a pitcher watching this. Now, what would you do?
Probably come high and inside on the first pitch. Right?
Yeah.
I threw it right over his head.
Yeah.
First pitch.
Did he come at you?
No, he looked at me. I go, get in the box. That was it. Mike and Broomall, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike.
How are you, Michael?
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Good. I don't live in Broomall anymore. I live in Michigan, and last night was Bruce show about a number 140.
What?
So, yeah.
Wait, hold on. You've gone to 140 Bruce Springsteen concerts?
I'm old. Figure it out. It's like he's been around since my first one was at the Tower, New Year's Eve, my senior year of high school, Marple, Newtown in 1975, going into 1976.
Now, have you traveled to see him also?
Yes. And in full disclosure, I'm a member of the media in Michigan, and I had it in my contract that I could take a day off if he was within 700.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable! Now I got to ask you a question. What do you get out of seeing him 140 times?
You know what? Everything's different. It's like I equate it to like if you go to the Sixers when they suck. You know, you go to every game. Some people and you see them lose all the time. At least I get a different song at least once. Most of it now, as I've gotten older, is just reconnecting with different friends and family and around the country. Because that's what we did when we were younger. You know, sleeping outside, you know, at the Sears at 69th Street when you were kids, and that stuff.
So you've turned this into kind of a fraternity thing, like a reunion.
Yeah. Like last night I was there with my sister, and I ran out, you know, and saw some friends I haven't seen in a while because I'm in visiting for the week, going down the shore.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Mike, how old of a man are you now? Do you still go through the Bruce gyrations? Do you still do the dancing, or like this media guy that I'm talking about, where there's this video of him cupping his ear at a Bruce Springsteen song? You do that?
Not as much, but sometimes I will wait a few hours to get real close in the pit. I'm 65. I'm 65 years old.
Oh my God! Look at you. Listen. If it works for you, it works for you. There are.
You know what it is, Mike? Mike, it's like a deadhead without the drugs.
Well, I was just going to bring that up. Thanks for the call, Mike. Now, there are 4 bands that I can see that have this kind of effect on people. Bruce is one. The Dead, who he just mentioned, is another.
Yeah.
U2.
Yeah, U2
is another, and Fish.
Yes, people love Fish concerts. I've never been.
And then with the Buffett's gone now, but Buffett would have that effect on people too, right?
Yes.
And I just don't get it. What else do you see? If you see Bruce Springsteen has a great backing band. It's pleasurable to see these musicians crank it out. I get it, but you've heard the concerts aren't going to really be that different. Like, he's going to play the songs that I mentioned. He's played 1,000 times.
Silvio Dante's in his band, isn't he?
Yeah, Stevie Van Zandt. Have you not seen that documentary on him?
No.
On HBO?
Haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to see that. It's really good. It's really good. You don't know what that guy's been involved with.
Silvio?
Yeah, he has produced 1,000 bands. He also had a humanitarian mission, a South African humanitarian mission.
It's on Max?
It's on. I think you can get it on HBO regular.
I'll look for it.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. Little Steven and something, and this, I don't know where. But it's pretty interesting.
That caller, though, 140 concerts. If he's been going for 40 years, you're still talking over 5 concerts a year.
Yep.
That's
and him saying it's in his contract that he gets a day off. Within 750 miles?
Whatever does it for people. But I just go, when you go to a concert, what kind of a concert listener are you? I'm a concert listener that just listens and watches the musician. I don't do the gyrations. I'm a spectator when I go to a concert.
You don't gyrate?
No. And I go to a lot of concerts. I've been to a lot of concerts in my life. I'm not a gyrator.
I'll tell you, I'm gyrating right now the more I look at this Eagles trade, man.
So stop it. Why? How do you make a segue like that?
You like that segue?
We're in a conversation here.
Right, did you like
let
that?
me clarify whether or not I was a gyrator.
I was trying to set up the caller.
I'm not yet done with this conversation. All right? So let me ask you, Ray, and you, Bill, in the day. So you go to a concert with a female date or your wife or whatever.
Yeah.
The wife or the female date is a gyrator. Do you get sucked into the gyrations if you're not a gyrator? Because the girl is? How do you handle that?
I'm probably going to gyrate a little bit at that point.
Because but it's not you. Are you gyrating because the woman has pulled you into it and you don't want her to think that you're kind of a, adult? Like what brings you to the gyration if you're not a gyrator?
I don't have this problem because I'm a gyrator.
You're a gyrator?
So thus, I will be fine any scenario that really opens itself
what
up
bands
to.
do you gyrate to? Give me an example of a band where you go see in concert and you're a gyrator.
Let's see. We did a couple of country back. Like I did at Tim McGraw, which was something we could, dance a little bit.
Are you a country music guy?
Not really. Like, I like certain artists that I'll go see, but I'm not going to be sitting there like, all right, let's crank open the country playlist and have an afternoon to listen to country music.
You went to Tim McGraw because the girl wanted to, or you?
More her. She was more of the, McGraw fan.
So even if you're not a McGraw fan, you're gyrating to McGraw?
He's got some good songs. I enjoy it. Hey, listen, if I can have a good time, if the music makes me want to dance, I'm going to dance. I'm an equal opportunity gyrator on this
Bill,
one.
what about you?
Equal
Are you a gyrator, Bill?
No, I wouldn't say that I am.
You're more of a stoic?
I don't know. I'm not really a concert guy, so I don't know what I would
Really?
do at a concert necessarily.
Why aren't you a concert guy?
When I go, I thoroughly enjoy it. And every time,
Give me an example of a concert you would go to.
so this is where I'm going with it. I don't know if I've ever gone to a concert where I went and sought out tickets myself. It's like somebody invited me and I went. And every time I go, I'm like, man, these concerts are actually really fun. I just never go and look for tickets to go to a concert.
There's something odd about you when it comes to
Maybe.
music. What is this music thing with you? Are you anti-music?
I like music. I'm just not obsessed with it.
So, examples for you from me now thinking about concerts.
Yeah, okay.
Kendrick Lamar, been to multiple times.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
Billy Joel, I saw once at Citizens Bank Park. That was with the family. So, a little different environment there. Then went up.
Bottle of red,
Yeah.
bottle of white. So wait, you weren't gyrating to that one.
No. Madison Square Garden, I went.
Yeah,
And
so
that
you were
was-
da, 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 da. That's what you were gyrating to.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
all
was,
right, I got it.
Yeah, I can also roll with my own poor rendition of what they're singing, but I try to be conscious of that because I don't want to ruin.
This opens up another thing.
I don't want to ruin everyone else's experience.
Do you sing along with the songs?
Depends the crowd.
Now I'll do that. I'll sing along, but I won't gyrate.
See, I'll do both, but it kind of depends on the crowd. Like 2 weeks ago, I went to Zach Bryan. I was in the pit for that. Everybody's singing.
Bill's so upset with this conversation. He keeps checking his phone. He's itching to talk
I'm
about.
getting texts.
He's itching to talk about the Eagles. Go ahead, Bill. Bill, the floor is yours, Bill. We're
didn't
done
do anything.
talking about music. Go ahead, Bill.
What did I do? What did I do,
You're
Ray?
getting- you're
I'm
all hot
sitting
and
here.
bothered over Jahan
I
Dotson.
can see your ADD kicking in. When are we going to get this back to this trade? Oh, we got to talk about this trade. Go ahead, Bill. Go. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll keep my Zach Bryan anecdote for another day.
Go ahead, Bill.
I see. I'm sitting here, nice and quiet.
Well, let's talk football. Go ahead, Bill.
Let you
Go.
guys do your thing. Let you do your thing, and I get attacked. You see?
Go ahead. You're looking at your text. Go ahead. Who texting you? It's football comments. Go ahead.
I'm battling with people on YouTube here.
Battling with people. We're in the middle of a music conversation, Bill. He's battling with people on YouTube.
Yeah,
Better be
they're
about
engaging
music.
with the show.
Okay.
They're engaging
All
with
right,
the show.
what are they engaging with? Go ahead, Bill.
on this Jahan Dotson move.
All right. Well, do they like it?
Yeah, people are loving this.
Okay.
Move.
So give me an example of what they're saying.
Well, no, one person then attacks me of being overly positive about the Eagles because I said I liked the move.
So that bothered you.
It did
Rather
bother
than
me.
the other texts that are coming in saying, I really love this trade. The one that was anti-Bill bugged you?
Yes. The one where I'm getting accused of being overly positive because the Eagles upgraded their wide receiver 3 position with a former first-round draft pick when everybody else on the roster, you talk about 6th-round rookies and guys who haven't played in the league for 3 years, and John Ross. This is a massive upgrade for the Eagles.
Total massive upgrade.
And he's on his rookie deal.
They were uncertain about the position all camp. We knew it. We talked about it. Two guys that were vying for a position had concussions. They couldn't see him enough. Paris Campbell was hurt early on. The rookie wasn't going to grab the spot. So this is perfect. Howie said, listen, that's a spot that we don't have. Let's go out and get one. Perfect.
And he's on his rookie contract.
There you go.
And because he was a first-round pick,
Great acquisition.
you could exercise a 5th-year option.
Tremendous
next year.
acquisition in the slot. That guy's a game. I can see that step back screen to him. Right? He lines up on line of scrimmage. Boom. 2 steps back. Quick pass to him. Give him space. That's what Jahan Dotson's going to provide.
But why would the Commanders give up on him?
Didn't fit. We'll look at their depth chart after this.
You know who's-
610.
yeah.
Wow.
Right.
610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues. in Delaware Valley, 12 o'clock hour of the Mike Missanelli Show, brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months. Get a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. You learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. It is time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, Ray Bob, what do we have for the news at noon today?
All right, we're starting out with a feel-good story and maybe a new life goal for me here. Comedian Ethan Levine set a Guinness World Record by throwing out 40 first pitches at professional baseball stadiums in a calendar year. He completed it up at Citi Field with the Mets. Levine is a childhood cancer survivor and did this to raise money for Make-A-Wish. Still 11 more first pitches to go. The question off of this, one, obviously, I'd love to break this record. I'm now going to start looking into what it takes and how there's even a world record kept for this. And two, how many professional ballparks do you think that you could realistically hit in a year given your current life?
I mean, I don't know. We'll just have the weekends to do it, right?
Yeah.
Unless you can drive up to Citi Field or in Yankee Stadium.
But professional,
and make the show.
By professional, we could go to Trenton. That would be professional, right?
They're now summer collegiate, so that would probably be...
I could take a train down to D.C., throw it out of the Nationals game. Other than that, it would have to be done all on weekends.
Well, they count, yeah. I mean, you're going to have to do all weekends. They do count minor league, so you are able to get Reading. You go up to Lehigh Valley.
Oh, they do?
Scranton.
Okay.
Yeah. They also count the partner league, so you go out to Lancaster, you go out to York, get your Atlantic League experience in there. I do think in the summer that I could hit 30.
Really?
I think.
I don't know. I have never been asked to throw out a first pitch in my long, illustrious career. Nobody's ever asked me.
Really?
Oh, we got to make that happen.
No, I actually did. Excuse me. I did at the independent team, the Camden River Sharks.
River Sharks.
Yes.
How about that?
And I took BP.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I did throw out the first pitch.
There you go.
Ray, I got to say something, though, man.
Uh-huh.
You're single right now.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is to break this record and try to throw out more than 40 first pitches in a calendar year, you're going to be single for a little bit longer, man.
Probably. That's okay.
All right.
Some
Yeah.
musicians go on tour. I'll just go on tour.
When I'm commissioner of the world, you will not be allowed to get married until you're 30. So Ray has 6 years to fulfill that.
You know what? I could get behind that.
It's going to be an amendment.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great idea.
When I am commissioner of the world. And when I am commissioner of the world, also, there will be no political parties.
I can get behind both.
Yeah.
And
Look at this.
when I'm commissioner of the world, every Supreme Court justice would have to be raised and independent.
Huh.
No more political parties. I'm sick of it. All it does is divide the country with philosophy. All right.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to be commissioner of the world. I don't have that many years to live,
you
frankly.
can't get married till 30 is the smartest thing you've said on this show since it started.
Really?
The 30 rule.
It means you've ignored everything else I've said in
We've
2 weeks.
disagreed on everything else.
All right.
But I was with my cousins last week, and I'm the oldest of the cousins. So one of the younger cousins, she was talking about like life planning, all those things. And she's like, yeah, I'd like to be married by 20. And I was like, watch what year you say, because whatever you say is an age that I'm getting closer and closer to that is not going to be feasible for me.
She would like to be married by 20?
20-something. She started at 20-something because she's already past the age of 20. But she started 20-something. I was like, don't put it realistic timelines out
Come on,
there.
sister. Wait till you're 30. You learn about life. You learn about all these creeps that come into your life. You discard them. You find somebody really good. It takes you a while to do that.
It's a good point,
I appreciate
Mike.
that. Thank you. That's just good advice here.
Very good point. So go make it happen, Ray. We support your endeavor to throw out 40 first pitches.
Well, he's going to get to 51, so I'm going to have to get to 52. Keeping it with baseball, though, Joey Votto called it a career yesterday. He had like a spectacularly unspectacular career, if that makes any sense to anyone out there. The numbers are really good, but I think when people go back with Joey Votto, he might get lost because of the time in Cincinnati. Regardless, Mad Dog Russo once put him in his Hall of Very Good. And Votto went on high heat on MLB Network and delivered this to him.
A couple of months ago, you said that Zach Greinke and I are a Hall of Very Good ball players. I think Zach and I would agree. You may be right. But I get the gist of what's going on here. I know what you're doing. you're looking down on us. A couple small market Midwest ball players, just because we're not big city, just like you. Mr. New York City, Sirius XM radio star, Mr. National Television, ESPN star, with your Fifth Avenue ties and your crisp pocket squares, your tailored suits and your polished shoes, and your hair, your perfectly coiffed Broadway hair. Must be nice to sit atop that Madison Avenue ivory tower, looking down on us with those luscious locks. Not everyone can be the next Roger Peckinpah, Mad Dog. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a disgrace.
Wait, he was kidding, right?
Yeah. He was
Joey
kidding.
Votto's his character.
Well, we say, Mikey.
That was pretty good.
Cincinnati.
I don't know. I can't do this stuff. I always looked at him like it was like Jerry Lewis from The Nutty Professor.
Who's that, Votto?
Yeah.
Actually.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he went after Mad Dog. Mad Dog just did something ridiculous about Philadelphia sports, cited to like a 1980 example.
You
or
know,
something.
Mad Dog's career. He underplays this. He had a tryout here in Philadelphia.
Mad Dog?
Well, I was way back at WIP before he went to New York, and I don't know, somehow got hired up to New York. He was on. He did a Saturday show on WIP.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, and he was so poorly received they couldn't wait to boot him out of town because of his style. He was ripping John Chaney, if I remember.
There's your athletes, Mr. Cheney.
Yeah, people said, "Who is this guy?" They went up to New York and became a hero. I don't know. I don't understand certain things. Go ahead, Ray.
All right, last one here. While we're talking about calling it quits, a man went viral over the last couple days for his 2-week notice that he's given to his wife. Football season on the horizon, starts in 2 weeks. He wanted to make it known to her that she'll be without her husband for the next couple of months.
Callie, this is to inform you that 2 weeks from today is the start of the NFL season. The past several months, I have been an engaged, loving, helpful, and thoughtful husband and father. However, I must, with remiss, inform you that I am putting in my 2 weeks notice. I will no longer be available for work on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday evenings, nor Thursday evenings due to conflicting commitments. I'll also be available every Saturday due to conflicting commitments between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 a.m. the next morning. This will be in effect until the end of February and early March. Thank you for your understanding.
Well, at least she's got a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Now, is she laughing because she thinks it's preposterous, or is she like, I don't? Does he really mean that?
I think
that's
she's in a
not
little
gonna-
disbelief.
Yeah, she's laughing at it because she thinks that he's doing it as a joke. Maybe he's not.
Well, here's
You
a
know?
reminder for everyone. We're just about 2 weeks away from the birds, so if you're going to do it, put in that right now. And if you're going to do it, extend it to March Madness. I think he cut it off a little bit too
There's
soon.
a lot of people out there that don't like she sounds like a good sport.
Yeah,
Like, she would
she
sit
did
down
too.
and watch a football game. But there are a lot of guys that don't like that. They don't like their girlfriend or their wives to sit down with them and watch the sport because they get questioned about little things and they don't like it. How do you feel about that, Bill? You sit down with the wife, watch football?
So I do, but my wife's great about it because she knows I don't want to be bothered necessarily.
So she doesn't bother you, but she doesn't sit down and chime in?
She'll pay attention vaguely.
Uh-huh.
She understands sports. You know what I mean? She understands it. I think I would get annoyed if I was being asked questions the whole time. Like, I like watching games alone, to be honest with you.
I do too, actually.
I don't like being asked a bunch of questions. I don't like watching games at bars.
I don't like to go. I don't either. I don't like to go watch football with my friends either.
Same
a lot
way.
of them have, hey, come over,
Really?
watch the game. I can't do that.
I don't do it either.
I got to look at the nuances of the game.
I'm with you on that, Mike.
I love watching with people.
No.
Do you?
I like watching it alone.
No. Yeah, I do too.
I like watching it alone. But see, now to that guy who just told his wife he's no longer available on Sundays, and then he threw in Saturdays, the NFL's killing it for us, man, because you got to now Thursdays, Friday, Christmas Day again this year. Yeah. They're taking over every day of the week.
We're up against a break. Ray, I don't even know if how much you know about me as a sports talk host. Do you know a lot about me?
I listen to you, so I'd like to think I do.
So, you know at Christmas time what I'm famous for? Think about that. We'll go into a break. At Christmas time, I'm famous for this particular thing. Bill has no clue about it. And I'm trying to figure out if this is a violation or not.
All right.
All right, we're going to explain this on the other side.
No Googling, Ray.
Yeah, no Googling.
Googling.
I
Yeah,
think,
no,
Ray, you might be familiar with it. He has no familiarity with it. All right? 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Tyro.
Show. Okay, so so I put a Twitter poll out there prior to the break, and I put it out there. Here's what I tweeted. Question to settle an argument. If you've listened to me on the radio all these years, what bit do I do specifically at Christmas time? 15 tweets back. Got it. Bill has no idea, nor does Ray. And it's related to the topic we're talking about. Bill turns to me during the last commercial, Ray, and says, "You know what song I like Bruce does? Santa Claus is Coming to Town." For 15 years, this has been my bit at Christmas time, where the intro happens on Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
This show may be over before it began, Ray. I may be out.
It's all cold out down on the beach. The wind's whipping down the boardwalk. Hey, band, you know what time it is? Christmas time. You've never heard that.
I've never heard you do that. This is bad. I'm admitting this is a violation on my part,
It's a total
Ray.
violation on both of you. No, play the intro. Play the intro. Not the song. Play the intro. Mike Vito's walking by. The intro is he comes out and he goes, "Oh, it's so cold down on the beach. Oh, the wind's whipping down the boardwalk."
Is that what he says too? Like, have you been good?
Yes.
Oh, not many. Not many.
Yes, I've done it for 15 years.
Everybody on YouTube knows. They're saying Bruce Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen.
and you have no idea. What am I working with here?
It's a huge violation.
It's like I walked off the street, walked into the studio.
I don't know what to do. I humbly apologize.
We're going to get it. I'm going to do it right now. It's not even Christmas.
Christmas in August.
Bill turns to me and goes, "You know what?" I go, "Really? You never heard me do the bit?" No. What are you listening to all these years?
This is almost as bad as not knowing General Knowledge Wednesday, which I did know. But yeah,
Starts
I guess
with
I
the
was
jingle
never...
bells. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, Ray. Come up big for me here, so I can do this for the people.
Okay, I hope you're ready for this now.
Let's see if this is it. I don't think this is it. No, I don't think that's it.
We're trying to get something live off the internet. We don't have it in the system.
How do you not have this in the system? I used to do it. I did it. I swear to God, I would do it 30 times during Christmas time.
Spaz Racing on YouTube. Mike has done this bit 7,000 times.
Exactly.
And I've cracked up every time.
And you've never heard it.
I never heard it.
What time? Wait, here it is. Here we go. This is it. Oh, the wind's whipping down the boardwalk. Hey, man. You guys know what time it is? What? Go, Christmas time. You guys all been good and practicing real hard. Yeah? Clarence, rehearsing real hard now, so Santa brings you new saxophone. Oh, that's not many. Not many. You guys in trouble out there. Come on, Bill. All right, enough.
For people just tuning in, they're thinking, what the hell is going on?
Duly humiliated. My own people don't know. And it was a bit.
This was a violation on my part.
Oh, my God. I don't know if I can continue. I really, yeah. I feel like I'm working with aliens. Let's go to Andrew in Maryland. Andrew, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Mike. How you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Just if you bear with me for a little bit, I got a tooth pulled today, so I'm a little gauzed up. But I was just calling about the Dotson trade. Just a couple things. Do you think Washington was maybe selling low on him? I didn't really see him too much out of Penn State, but
he's
there a lot of
dynamic player, first-round draft pick.
Sure.
I don't know. We looked at their depth chart, right? And I'm going, well, they must have a slot receiver. You know who their slot receiver is? Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is their second-string slot receiver. So I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they thought the third-round draft pick was a good value for them, but I don't think so.
So they look a little bare there, so maybe there's another move coming on their part. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm
what
not
do you
worried
think it
about
does-
them. They're going to stink, and they know it. So, are you a Redskin fan?
No, I'm a Birds fan.
Okay, what do they expect? So they're still in rebuilding mode. They're still on a new quarterback. They're going to try to do it all over again. And you know who their backup quarterback is?
No, I don't.
It's Marcus Mariota.
They're taking our cast off.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Mike, what do you think it does to the Eagles depth chart moving into Week 1? Do you see any of these roster bubble guys? Where do you see them moving around?
Wait, which guys you talking about? I think Johnny Wilson will. If he gets on the practice squad, they can poach him, though, right?
Yeah, he may have to make the team.
Yeah, he will have to make the team. He will make the team. Paris Campbell will get cut, and John Ross will get cut.
How about Aeneas Smith, the 6th-rounder?
Well, they're going to probably keep him because they like the speed. So they'll maybe he goes on the practice squad.
That's what I see.
He probably is a practice squad guy because probably people won't poach him just yet. They don't know what he can do. But Johnny Wilson's got size, and he probably wouldn't be palatable for teams.
Sure. I'm excited for the move. I think it brings some optionality as far as moving Devontae or AJ into the slot and keeping them outside and having Dotson in the slot. Do you think they'll kind of rotate them a little bit more?
I think Dotson will be a big player for them. I really do. I think he's a perfect slot guy for what and I got to give Howie credit. It almost is the perfect slot guy. Somebody who can really stretch also in the slot. Like he can get down the field and beat somebody for a touchdown.
Great. It's a great move. It really is. To try to put myself in the mind of what the Commanders are thinking, the only thing I could think of is I know he fell out of favor with new ownership is what's being reported. Because he's a first-round pick, Mike, you got to exercise his 5th-year option this coming offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So they may be thinking ahead saying, you know what, we weren't going to do that. So we'll get something for him now because he's probably worth more now having 2 years under team control with the 5th-year option than he would be if you waited till the end of the season.
Yeah, plus it's not, that team, what are they going to win? 5 games?
Well,
maybe. I know a lot of people think they're going to be better. Right? There's a rookie quarterback is just, I don't think, going to come into a football league at the NFL and go crazy. I know a couple of them have done it. I don't see Jaden Daniels doing it, though.
A lot of people make the C.J. Stroud comparison because he comes in last year and dominates. But you look at Washington, and I'm with you. I don't think they're ready to compete yet, but they certainly got better. One, they got a new coach in Dan Quinn. They brought in Cliff Kingsbury to be the OC, but they added a lot of veterans. Frankie Laveau, Bobby Wagner, linebackers on defense. They brought in Austin Eckler. They brought in Zach Ertz. They brought in the Dallas center for the offensive line. They're going to be better. I don't think they're going to be ready to compete, though.
Yeah, I think it's a masterstroke. They must have had their eye on him for this position, right?
They had to
last year. What kind of production has he had?
Last year was a good year for Dotson.
What do you have? All right, let's look at Pro Football Reference. He had played 17 games. 49 catches for 518, 10.6 yards a catch. Not bad.
On this
4
team,
touchdowns.
That'd be phenomenal.
The year before, he had 35 catches, 7 touchdowns.
As a rookie.
Yeah.
In only 12 games that year.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at the last 2 seasons, and I know a lot of people were over the whole Quez Watkins thing. But you go back, even to their Super Bowl season, Quez had 354 yards. Last year, Quez has 142 yards. So this is going to be an upgrade no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, he's 5'11", 180 pounds. So he's slick, but he's perfect slot guy. And he played 17 games last year. So that indicates that he's a little durable. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this. 12:30, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, so the specifics of the trade. The Washington Commanders send the Eagles Jahan Dotson and a fifth-round pick. Commanders only have one fifth-round pick, so wherever they land this year, that fifth-round pick will be probably early in the fifth round. The Eagles gave up a third and two seventh-round picks. They have two third-round picks, so this trade that they gave up is the better of the two third-round picks, and they have two third-round picks. They have their own in Miami, so the pick will be the better of them. And they have 4 sevenths, so the picks, the 2 seventh rounds they gave to the Commanders are the third and fourth. So they're bottom of the round in the seventh. And that sounds like that's a cheap price, isn't it?
It is, and the reason they had the extra third was because in this past draft, they traded their fourth rounder to Miami and got Miami's third round back. So in essence, would they really give up a fourth round pick for this guy?
Oh, yeah. The only question is, it sounds too good to be true. You know, what does Washington know?
Yeah, it does.
You
It
know?
makes you, like you say with betting sometimes, if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it is.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll take it because he gets right in there as a really dangerous. Listen, they had guys that were going to play the slot, but none of them were dangerous, right?
Now, interestingly, somebody just tagged me on Twitter, and this is an interesting question. This is coming from Charles. Could this be because the Washington Commanders are gearing up for a Brandon Ayuk trade?
Oh.
What's he? Well, I mean, good for them. What's Brandon Ayuk going to make them a playoff team?
I would certainly rather him get traded to the AFC. It looks like he's going to stay in San Francisco, but they were in the mix. That was the rumor. He wanted to play with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that doesn't even affect me.
It's an interesting question.
The Commanders stink.
I don't think it pushes the Commanders past you. I just prefer not to have to deal with him.
You got big play Slay.
Well, no, you say
We're crying out loud.
You say the Commanders stink. I'm with you that I don't think they'll be ready to compete this year. But if Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback with what they're building there, I'm worried 2-3 years down the road with that team.
You're worried 2-3 years down. What do you pick things to worry about?
No,
2-3 years down the road, you're worried.
You are ignoring the Commanders, and what I'm telling you is
because they stink.
They don't stink anymore. They are building a better team. They have look. The reason they've stunk for so long is they've had terrible ownership.
Wins.
Terrible ownership.
How many games did the Commanders win this year? With Brandon Ayuk, put Brandon Ayuk in there. Where they win? They got McLaurin and Ayuk. All right, that'd be.
I could see them
dynamic.
I could see them being a 7-10.
Yeah, the tight end's Zach Ertz, by the way.
7-10.
Brian Robinson's a running back, right? 7, you think they win?
7-10. Well, they got Brian Robinson. They also signed Austin Eckler.
Okay.
Cooked.
Yeah, he may be.
Yeah, he is.
But as a number 2 option, I think he's okay. They've improved. Look, they got Frankie Lavu at linebacker, who was a guy I wanted to see the Eagles get. And they added Bobby Wagner, another veteran. I wouldn't say they stink.
Bobby Wagner.
They're over under 6.5.
6.
All right, I said 7-10.
All right. But you're worried.
Well, you got to play him twice.
You're worried in the year 2027?
No, not 2027.
May not be alive by then.
Next year.
Let's go to Mike in Pittsburgh. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up, Mike?
You have black and gold.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks. Just really wanted to express I'm stoked about this Dotson trade. And career comparison, do we think he could find a career projection like Jason Avant did? Avant playing with Jackson and Macklin on his core, he was like the steady hands and release valve for when those guys got covered. So we see Dotson having a similar role with A.J. Brown and Smitty on the field at the same time, being the sure-handed guy that could be the third wide receiver option that would average a 10-digit yard completion.
Yeah, I think so, but Dotson's way faster than Jason Avant.
Yeah, completely different comparable.
Yeah, I mean, he's a burner. So, you're talking about that intermediate route that will be balanced off the 2 wideouts, but he could also, he's the home run threat.
Well, and even so, I mean, having that speed up the slot could also yield a lot of things. Just really stoked. And by the way, daylight robbery by Howie, using a third to get a guy that's a former first and then 2/7 to get a fifth. That's daylight robbery right there.
I agree. I don't know. That's why it's almost too good to be true, Mike. I really don't understand how Washington benefits. A third-round pick, I guess, is pretty valuable.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why would they do this? Why would they do this? But to Mike's point, and Jason Avant was a nice player, but Avant was I'm just going to catch the ball and go down type of guy.
Yeah.
No yak.
No.
You're going to get some yak with Dotson.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, he's averaging 10 yards a catch already in his career. Malcolm in Maryland, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Malcolm.
Yeah, Mike.
What's up, Malcolm?
Yo, what's up, Mike?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Hey, yo, first things first, yo. That's a violation, Bill. You're my man, but you got to know that Christmas bit, bro.
I agree.
You got to know that, Joe. My 11-year-old daughter knows that, Joe, from when I used to pick her up from school.
Apparently, I was never on the air in Philadelphia. I don't know. Maybe this is the new world that I stepped into.
No,
Neither one of my guys knew this whole thing.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Hey, look, I got a cousin born and raised in Burlington Township, diehard Washington fan, and he's outraged about this Jahan Dotson deal. So I'm excited about it, bro.
Burl Twip, huh? Burl Township.
Yep.
I used to roam around Burl Twip.
Yep.
I grew up in Burlington Bristol Bridge.
He picked the wrong team. I don't know how he had Washington in his blood, but that's him.
Yeah. All right,
But
man.
Look, that bubble screen, we could run that bubble screen with Dotson, and he get out in space, go grab 9 yards. You know, we love running them little short pick plays, them pick screens. So I think
The pick screen would be perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect for him.
That's going to be perfect, Mike. That was a great steal. I just hope it ain't something underlying we ain't seeing about this deal that we got him for a 3rd and 2-7.
Yeah, that's a steal. I don't know what to make of it. It's like too good to be true. Burlington Township, there used to be a discrepancy in the drinking age, way back in the day.
Oh, you used to be able to drink younger?
The Jersey age was 18, while Pennsylvania's 21. So Bristol was connected to Burlington by a bridge. Burlington-Bristol Bridge, right? So we used to roll over to Burlington and go to a bar. The bar was called Gorman's, like right over the bridge in Burlington. And we sit there and have a couple pops at age 18. We thought we were big shots.
You were a big shot.
So there was a beef in there one night. And there's these two guys warring, and they got the one guy out. And so we're there, like an hour later, the guy comes in with a gun. They got the guy. They corralled him. Like, it's time for us to leave. Let's get out. That was the end of that. Let's go to Joe in South Jersey. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Hey, Mike. Glad to hear you back on
What's
the
up,
radio.
Joe? How you doing?
Good. Glad to hear you back. We've talked a few times. I got the pleasure to meet you once at a fantasy fest. It's pretty cool. It was actually right before Dutch passed. So happy to hear you back.
Thank you, buddy.
A couple of things. The Dotson move, I like it, but I'm your point. Like, what don't we know? Is this a Hassan Reddick type of deal? Like, we're getting fleeced? I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm kind of skeptical.
Is he nicked up? I don't know. Do they think he's not durable? I don't really understand it. He's a home run hitter. Now, they have a quarterback as a rookie. I would think that would help him out. But Zacchaeus is now their slot receiver.
You got a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new ownership. The only thing I could think of is they just weren't high on the kid.
Wow.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I'm kind of that way with the Birds all in all. I wasn't one of those Sirianni bringing back guys, so kind of wait and see. I like the coordinators. I got to ask you this, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as high on Kellen Moore as, like, John Kincade in the morning show is. Like, I don't know. Is it just
John likes him?
John likes him.
Yeah.
And unfairly, I joke, is it because they have the same mouth? Like, John, you can hear his dental work when he's talking on air. You don't. So another reason I'm happy you're back.
Wait, what?
What's this?
His dental. You can hear his dental work.
Oh yeah.
Ray, what's going on here, Ray?
I have no idea.
What's he have a lot of dental work?
I don't know.
Do you mean he just talks too much, or you actually hear his dental work?
No, it's like he has like too many teeth in his mouth, and you can hear like the words bouncing off it before it comes out. It's like you'll get like.
Wait, and you're saying Kellen Moore has a similar way of speaking?
Look at their headshots. Look at their mouth when they smile. It's the same face. It's the same mouth. Big gums, big teeth.
See, coordinators to me are like I don't trust anybody. Like I know they have reputations, but I think like coordinators are just taking a shot in the dark. Like they're so recycled all the time. Now I guess I took Shane Steichen a little lightly, and we all took Gannon a little lightly. At the end of the day, he was probably a pretty good defensive coordinator. But I don't know how this is going to work out because Fangio's had good years and bad years, and Kellen Moore is the same thing. Like has he impressed 100%? No.
Like I said, the whole thing is wait and see how it goes. Like, I wasn't high on Jonathan Gannon 2 years ago, and then everyone blames, whoever you blame, the field, you blame Hurts' fumble and stuff. And I'm like, Jonathan Gannon had an entire half to get off the field once. Like, literally one drive you needed to get off the field, and you couldn't do it. So I'm sorry. I put that Super Bowl on him, and may he be tarred and feathered out in Arizona and never step foot around here again. Like, screw him.
Yeah, they're decent though. I mean, they showed a decent level last year. I thought under him.
Arizona's first year with him. You mean? Yeah. Look, I don't know why Gannon.
He's a weirdo.
He's a strange dude.
Yeah.
He screwed over the Eagles by pulling the bait and switch, saying he's coming back and then not. But he was a good DC. I think these people are stuck in the Seth Joyner thought process of you got to blitz every play. You got to blitz. It's not the 90s.
I joked last year on the show. I think it's Seth. When he came out of the womb, he went, blitz.
Yeah. And look, in Seth's era, that's what you did.
Yeah. The numbers were good for Jonathan Gannon.
They were excellent.
Really good. They just didn't get enough pressure on the quarterback to Seth's liking.
They were excellent. Yeah, but you don't get enough pressure on the quarterback. They had 70 sacks.
Yeah. I don't know how this is going to work out. It was interesting that speaking of Kincade and Andrew, they had Adam Schefter on, and they asked him. It's an interesting question because we haven't really addressed this. If the Eagles get off to a slow start,
which is possible,
would the head coach be in trouble? Let's hear what Schefter had to say about that. It's Schefter 4, Ray,
from ESPN. Adam Schefter joined.
Yeah, that's Schefter 1, I think, but Schefter 4.
Schefter 4 is saved as the full interview. We will have that for you momentarily.
Oh, it's a full interview? Oh. I thought it was just
saved.
a
It's saved
a cut sheet.
It just saved incorrectly.
Oh, okay.
Well, while he's waiting to pull that up, there is no scenario, in my opinion, no matter how they start, that Jeffrey Lurie would make a knee-jerk move like that. The only time you've ever seen Jeffrey Lurie move on from a coach before the end of the season was Chip Kelly, and they did it with only one game left. They're not going to move on from him that early.
I disagree.
No way.
If it all depends on who is dissatisfied in that locker room.
If it's Hurts, you think it could.
There's no question that if it's Hurts, they would make that kind of a move.
How could Hurts?
And I'm not so sure they wouldn't do it if A.J. Brown starts squawking, because once he starts squawking, he infects other players.
But how could there be a scenario, even with a slow start, that you'd have Hurts and A.J. Brown that fed up with the head coach?
You go 1-5. If you go 1-5, just think of that. Now 5 is the break point.
Yeah,
you start off, and that's not going to happen. They're too good for that. But I'm just saying there is a scenario where they would do it. If they're 1-5 and there's discontent in that locker room, what are you going to do?
I still don't think they make a move that early. We've talked about this before.
There was discontent with the defensive coordinator that they realized in that room.
This isn't the NHL. It's not Major League Baseball.
Oh, I hear you. It's very unorthodox to change in mid-flight. But if they're 1-5, dude, very possible. Q in Center City. What's up, Q?
Mike,
what's
how
happening?
You doing, man?
How you doing, Q?
I'm okay, man. It's the first time I talked to you since you've been back, Mike. Let me say this. You are one of the few people who I never met who I have strong opinions about. So, I'm glad to hear you back. You got me through my incarceration in the early 2000s. It was funny. We used to get locked down, and I wasn't mad because I knew the Missanelli show was coming on.
I remember talking to you, Q. I remember talking to you. That warmed my heart that we were big in the joint back then.
If you, before it was legalized sports betting out here, it was really big in there. So we had to be on top of it. But this is the thing, Mike. I don't know how the guys don't know your love for Bruce. I think your love for Bruce almost is up.
No, but it's not a love. It's a mockery. I'm mocking the song. That's what I'm doing.
But let's not say you don't love Bruce, man.
No, I don't love him. I like him. I like Bruce. I'm not a Bruceophile. I liked him in the early day, but I didn't keep up with him along the years with all the albums.
Okay, so you don't have a disdain for Tom Hanks either.
For the what?
Tom Hanks.
For Tom Hanks neither. You don't have a disdain.
No,
for Tom Hanks
I think I just don't put Tom Hanks in the upper echelon of actors. I don't dislike him.
Okay,
I think he's an overrated actor.
Oh, I think that may be a violation right there.
Yeah.
It's a violation to me, but we already had this discussion.
Yeah.
This is the thing with Dotson. When he was coming out of college, I wanted Dotson. His catch radius is incredible. He makes some of the toughest catches, especially for his size. He's not that big, but his feet and his hands are great. And he's not a third wide receiver. He's more like a 2. I think he's going to develop into a 2. So we got this don't seem real. This don't seem real. And what it tells me is they letting Jealous know that we gave you everything. He better have a really good year. I'm not talking about an average year.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a 30 to 35 touchdown throwing year.
I think you might be right. That offense has to hum.
If it's not, look, they go. It's questions on Jalen, and who knows? I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, they're down to one question now. And the only question is center right guard situation. They've just solved the slot, which was a problem.
Yeah, there was only 2 question marks on the offense. It was how's the offensive line going to do with a new guard and a new center, and who are they going to do at wide receiver 3? So you're right. They just answered that.
Yeah. By the way, he brought up the Tom Hanks. I don't hate Tom Hanks. I don't think I just don't put him in the upper echelon of actors that have all kinds of versatility. I don't think he has versatility. He can only really excel in one type of movie. Like the Sleepless in Seattle type of movies.
I disagree.
Oh, come on.
Did you see Captain Phillips?
It was a bad movie.
No.
Captain Phillips was not a good movie.
Captain Phillips was a great movie.
He had 2 dramatic roles where he excelled in. Philadelphia and Saving Private Ryan.
So you weren't a Forrest Gump guy?
And that's it. I could have played that part.
You could play Forrest Gump?
I could have played Forrest Gump. All you had to do is have a goofy voice to play it. That's not acting.
I think your position on Captain Phillips not being a good movie is wrong.
It's not a
great movie.
No,
Ray, did you see Captain Phillips?
It's not a great movie.
Ray's working back there. He's trying to pull the audio.
Not a great movie. Now think about all the ridiculous parts that they tried to shoehorn him into.
You didn't like Castaway?
Road to Perdition.
I did not like that movie.
Well, of course not. He can't play a hitman.
No, I'll agree with you
Tom
there.
Hanks, Sleepless in Seattle, is going to play a hitman all of a sudden?
I will agree.
That's
Road
what I'm
to
saying.
Perdition.
He doesn't have the versatility of the greatest actors.
And that could have been a good movie, Road to Perdition. You're right. But Forrest Gump was good. Castaway was good. Captain Phillips was good.
Oh, Castaway.
Dragnet.
Wilson! I can play Wilson! I can play it. I can play Gump. We do? Okay. All right. So this is Schefter. This is Adam Schefter on the morning show. Where they asked him, is there a scenario where they would fire Sirianni? And here's what he had to say.
I think it would take a lot to make an early in-season change. I mean, those are rare. Those are the disaster seasons. Those types of changes that are reserved for the teams that are picking at the top of the draft. And even if the season doesn't go the way the Eagles want, I still don't see that scenario. So I don't see that in play, but that's the great part of the season, is that there are things that happen all the time that you don't see coming. It's hard for me to imagine all of a sudden they're going to be changing coaches early in the season. I don't see that scenario. I don't see it.
Where was Schefter talking from? A Del Monte green beans can?
I heard it live and thought the same thing.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know where the hell he was. But, yeah, so his point, though.
I went Del Monte.
Where is that? Where's Del Monte?
I don't know. It's the Del Monte canned vegetable. Right?
It sounded more like he was at a bus station.
What canned vegetables are on the shelves anymore? Del Monte's, right? Still one of the cans, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't do a lot
fresh.
Yeah.
What is it?
I go to the produce section. I don't go to the can.
Green Giant, Del Monte.
Green Giant's definitely still there.
Hanover. There's the canned vegetables.
One Halloween, when I was about One. I think I was an infant. My dad was the Green Giant, and I was Sprout.
Green Giant.
And I was Sprout.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, isn't that a cute
little Sprout?
Cute thought.
610-632-0975. We got to roll into the 1 o'clock hour. A little momentum here. Eagle news today. And also don't forget, Phillies game 3. And we go back to that old argument. Does Arcia or Kelenic have to go down tonight? Working with it. No idea what I'm about. So, it's the Mike Missanelli show on 97.5 The Fanatic. 610-632-0975 is how you get in. The 1 o'clock hour of the program is brought to you by Ferguson HVAC Line Conklin, Tension HVAC Contractors, for equipment, parts, supplies for every heating and cooling job. Visit one of Ferguson's county locations in Bensalem, King of Prussia, Pennsauken, or Westchester. I had this thing in front of me. Now that the Eagles have acquired John Dotson, and we are learning through Twitter from people that follow the Redskins that he had a drops problem at camp. So they weren't that high on him. So the Eagles grab him, and I think it's a cheap price. Now, what will this do for their offense? There's, interestingly enough, a story today by Shil Kapadia, our old buddy, who predicts, according to the DVOA, how every offense in the league will perform this year. DVOA, a lot of people do not understand it. It's basically it's a defense-adjusted value over average. It calculates a team's success based on down and distance of each play. So, like, if you go over, like, and put it into percentage, a team with a DVOA of 10% is 10% better than the average team. So that's how they value these offenses. Number one DVOA rank in the league happens to be the team the Eagles will play in Game 1. The Green Bay Packers are number one as far as predicted offense is going to perform. That surprise you?
Not necessarily. I mean, they got a lot of young weapons on that team. Jordan Love definitely came on strong at the end of the season.
Let's see where the Eagles are now. Number 2, the Houston Texans.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud, they've added Stephon Diggs to that team now.
Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is the Ayuk problem, though. Number 4, the team that you're very down on it for reasons I do not understand. They probably have the best offensive line in the league. They've got a quarterback who, when he's protected, gets the ball out to some young wide receivers. The Detroit Lions are 4.
A lot of weapons.
The Miami Dolphins are 5.
Another team with a lot of weapons.
The Cincinnati Bengals are 6.
Now, that all is fine and dandy if Jamar Chase shows up. He's still holding out for a new contract.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he'll be there. The Kansas City Chiefs are 7. No Eagles yet. Number 8, your Philadelphia Eagles, and this is before the acquisition of Jahan Dotson. How you feeling about that?
I think I'd rank them a little bit higher.
You would?
I think I would rank them a little higher.
So with Dotson, you would rank them higher?
Even before they got
Before that?
I think this offense is going to be extremely good.
Okay.
I would put them above. I think I would put them above the Green Bay Packers, man. I don't know if I'd put them at number 1 because I do think the 49ers, the Texans, adding Stephon Diggs, Miami, it's hard to go against how good that offense is.
Let's hear Shields' explanation on the Green Bay Packers. It says, surprise. Okay, let me explain. So he knows people are going to have the reaction that you just had. Matt LaFleur has been the Packers coach for 5 seasons. Here's where the offense is ranked in efficiency in each of those years. 2019, they were 8th. 2020, they were 1st. 2021, they were 2nd. 2022, they were 12th. And last year, they were 6th.
First year with Jordan Love last year.
Correct. For a while, LaFleur's credentials as an offensive schemer got docked because everyone assumed Aaron Rodgers was the reason behind the Packers' success. And then we started to realize that coaching Rodgers in the quarterback age 36 to 39 season might not have been easy. With Rodgers gone last season, we saw LaFleur develop Jordan Love and a bunch of young skill position players. LaFleur hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, but he continues to turn in impressive coaching performances season after season. Packers are bringing back almost their entire offense, and they have a bunch of young players who should theoretically be getting better. That's why he ranks them as number 1. They do have some young players.
They're very young.
Their entire skill position is 26 or younger.
And they added Josh Jacobs, who 2 years ago was the best running back in the NFL.
Jordan Love's 25, Jaden Reed 24, Dontavian Wicks 23, Romeo Dobbs 24, Christian Watson 25, Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, Bo Melton, Josh Jacobs, A.J. Dillon, Marshawn Floyd.
Here's my issue with the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have someone who wants to argue against Jalen Hurts, they say he only did it for one season, and they cite to 2022. We've only seen Jordan Love do it for half a year. He came on after Thanksgiving last year. We've seen how that works in the NFL. Defensive coordinators figure out what your weakness is, and if you can't turn your weakness into a strength as an NFL quarterback, you're going to struggle. Now, I think Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback, but I expect him to have a little bit of a down year now that defensive coordinators have a whole season of tape to work off of.
All right. Here's the phone number, 610-622-0975. We'll get some tweets. We'll look at our YouTube chat board. But it is now time for 1 at 1. And, of course, 1 at 1 is something that I missed over the last 2 years that I may have had an opinion on, and now I get the chance to give it an opinion. Correct?
A whole lot has happened in 2 years. Mike's been watching, and he's got thoughts. Here's the one story at 1. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yeah, I got some thoughts. All right, so what's today's 1 at 1, Ray? What do you got?
The end of James Harden's time in the city of Philadelphia.
Pig. That's all I'll answer in one word.
Segment over.
Pig. You know what I loathe more than anything is a professional player who doesn't recognize his inefficiency at a certain age. Like, this guy walks around like he's still James Harden, and he's not. And it rankled me, especially when he disappeared in a couple of games. I know, well, he carried you into one game. I couldn't wait to get rid of him. The insolence that he showed about Daryl Morey not paying him. They wanted to pay him. They were going to pay him. They wanted to pay him accordingly. And he still thought he should be paid like James Harden. You know, guys that don't have any self-awareness, I have no time for. Pig.
Now, you said you couldn't wait to get rid of him, and I was right there with you, but I think the entire NBA knew they were trying to get rid of him. You got to give Morey credit for what he was able to get. He got rid of Harden and unloaded the P.J. Tucker contract, and they get back Covington, Batum, Marcus Morris, K.J. Martin. They get a first-rounder from the Clippers, 2 second-rounders, a first from OKC, a pick swap with the Clippers. Pretty good. And then he cleared a bunch of cap space to be able to get Paul George.
Yeah,
so
he did a nice job.
Real nice job getting rid of him.
None of those guys helped the Sixers last year.
Well, Batum won you a playoff game.
Except Batum. Everybody loved Batum.
I would have liked to seen him come back.
Yeah.
You're all right with it?
Have him back.
Yeah, I don't like these old guys coming back. Hey, move on.
Yeah, you don't like the old guys.
I don't like old role players. They always hurt you because they get hurt. And you count on them, and then you're missing, and then you. I don't know. Playoffs. He had that one streak where he couldn't miss a shot. I get it.
Yeah.
But he's Nick Batum. You know. But at this point, he's just tossed around.
What'd you think about? So in that trade, they get Marcus Morris. They gave him a key.
They gave him the key to the city,
and then they traded him a couple days. Later.
Excuse me, but not for nothing.
Not for nothing.
Marcus Morris deserve a key to the city. What are we talking about here? Benjamin Franklin?
Apparently not. They traded him for Buddy Hield a week later?
I think it has to do more with foundation
Marcus
work.
Morris, the key to the city, Marcus Morris. Oh, wait a minute. We lowered our standards for the key?
I think it had more to do with the off-the-court work than what he was doing on the court for you.
What does the key get you think, Ray? You think you got
Press
access
conference?
to City Hall?
With the key they gave him? Is that how big the door is?
That key doesn't fit in any keyhole. The key they gave him.
I used to work at City
Hall. I got to
Hall.
be honest with you. I thought that was really odd. They gave him a key to the city. I'm like, really? What happened here?
Well, he grew up here. He does a lot for the city.
Is he on top of City Hall? Is that who that Marcus Morris is?
There you go.
Is that who it is?
Erase the curse of Billy Penn, Marcus Morris.
All right. Let's go to Bill. In Utah? What? What's up, Bill?
Hey, what's going on?
Bill, what are you doing in Utah?
Hey, man, I used to live in the Pennsauken area, and I moved out here 30 years ago.
Oh, man.
So
what's Utah like to
call
live
him
in?
all the time. Huh?
What's Utah like to live in as a state?
Let me tell you, man, it's a little bit more expensive than it was when I got here, but it's a great place to raise a family, man. I mean, it's beautiful scenery. You get your 4 seasons, but in the middle of winter, you could drive down to St. George and be in 80-degree weather.
Yeah.
Where you at? Salt Lake?
Or you could stay in. I'm about 20 minutes outside of Park City.
That's cool. You can ski when it's warm too. I'm not a cold weather skier. That Utah skiing is where
it's beautiful out here. I mean, in 18 months, I'm actually building a Rambler out in the middle of nowhere, Utah. I'll have about 10 acres. My nearest neighbor will be
Good
about
for you,
1/4
man.
mile.
I always wanted to know what it was like to live in Utah or Montana or Wyoming. Like there's those.
It's not bad. I mean, like I said, I'm in a populated area, but it's getting too populated when I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm going to.
So what did you go out there? Did you go out there for a job, or you just went out there to stake a claim?
No, man, I came here when I was 21, right? And I was pretty popular back in Jersey and everything like that. I just kind of saw where I was going in life and kind of did like a forecast 10, 20 years where I would be like, and I didn't like what I saw. And I'm like, I don't want to
good for you, man. I'm glad you found a utopian.
Yeah, I was single when I moved here, and knock on wood, everything's worked out pretty good.
Good for you.
Now, I still come back every year to go to an Eagles game or Flyers game, and all my brothers, sisters, everybody still lives back there. So
Good. You're waving that eagle flag in Utah. I like it.
Oh, dude, I got a 50-foot flagpole. Now, check this out. I got a 50-foot flagpole from my house. I fly it high every time they play, and when they lose, I lower it to half mast.
That's awesome.
And when
I
my
like
neighbors and church members see that half mast, they don't even come knocking on the door.
I
They
love it.
told me, hey, I want to come to your house and talk to you, but I saw the flag at half mast. I figured not to knock. That's a smart
Beautiful.
move.
I like it, Bill. All right, now tell me about this trade.
I like the trade because, number one, it's going to open up the playbook a lot. I like the average of what he does with the balls after he catches it.
Yep.
I love the average. But what I really like, it's going to take some pressure off of Barkley also, right? So, maybe it's going to keep him on the field longer, injury-wise, keeping him, not from overdoing it. So it kind of takes pressure off of him a little bit by having a top third wide receiver coming into the organization.
I like it.
It takes a lot of pressure off of him, and he was going to have a lot as it is, and he's still going to have a lot.
Let me ask you a question about if they start slow. On what side of the fence are you on with Sirianni?
All right, this is what I was going to go. So I told your screener guy, whatever they. Now, would I fire him? I wouldn't fire him. It's not like football. I mean, football's different than baseball or hockey, where if you fire somebody in the middle of the season, you can still make the championship or the playoffs. We've seen that happen. But in football, it's hard. But if the Eagles were to stay 1-5, the only way I could see them firing Sirianni is, and I don't care about Hurts or Brown, what they say, it's who they can replace Sirianni with.
Yeah, there's probably nobody because the more you think about it, if they start 1-5, the offense isn't producing, so it wouldn't be Kellen Moore. What would you like? Your defense is good. You Fangio take over for the rest of the year just to throw a little flame in them.
That's why I don't see them doing it. You're not bringing in someone from the outside.
It's probably unrealistic, but I thought we had to bring it up because I know that you would, battle against it. If Sirianni being dismissed.
If Sirianni struggles this year, I will be on board to move on at the end of the season.
All right.
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
That's a soundbite.
But I don't expect him to struggle.
610-632-0975. Back after this. 610-632-0975. That's how you get in. All right, so the Eagles make a trade today, and they get Jahan Dotson from the Washington Commanders, plus a fifth-round pick, and they give up a third-round pick and 2 sevenths. The third-round pick is the worst of the two that they have, and the 2 seventh-round picks are the worst of the last two. They have 4 seventh-round picks. So Jahan Dotson, who is Nazareth area high school. I didn't know he was a PA kid. I thought he was from Maryland. I must be confusing him with KJ Hamler, who was another wide receiver along those lines for Penn State. So Nazareth area, local guy, and Saquon went to Whitehall. So those schools probably are close to each other, fairly close.
And then we were trying to look at the years that Saquon was there. He may have helped recruit Dotson because his last year at Penn State was
hosted him.
Yeah, it was Dotson's senior year in high school. Probably hosted him. I used to have to do that. That was always fun.
You hosted prospective Gettysburg football players?
I did.
What did you do? Did you introduce them to cheerleaders and stuff? Like what?
No, you take them to parties. They would spend the night.
Take them to parties.
You know.
Were you a big man on campus? Like all the ladies, like that's Bill from the football team.
No, I wish.
They started freshman year.
Nah, I wish. Division III, man. Nobody cared.
Come on, man. You go to a party.
Nobody cared.
Those co-eds.
I will tell you, though, one year I hosted a kid where my coach said, hey, listen, make sure you do a good job. We really want this kid. And then we found out 2 hours in that I had hooked up with his girlfriend when I was home. So that didn't work out too well. Needless to say, he didn't come.
I had a fraternity party. Penn State's famous for Jock House fraternity parties. So I used to go to all of them. And I had a girlfriend at the time. And you remember a wide receiver named Scott Fitzke? Played for the Eagles.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
He played at Penn State, played for the Eagles for a little bit. So he was big man on campus, big star receiver, fast, the whole bit. And so I'm at this frat party, and my girlfriend goes over to get a beer from the keg that they had there, right? And so Fitzke was there, and he starts sweet-talking her. And he goes, and I go over because I knew him. And so I walk over. I'm like hiding behind a pillar. And he goes, did you go to the game today? And she goes, yeah. He goes, I scored a touchdown today. And I go, oh, yeah. And I go, and I pull around. I come around the pillar. I go, come on, man.
Come on, man.
I gave him a come on, man. 610-632-0975. We go to Joe on a cell. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
What's up, Joe?
So Bill and I go around and around about this. So the whole Jordan Love thing. So, Bill, here's the difference. The difference is, so Jalen Hurts played a handful of games, two full seasons, and then last year was the third season. Jordan Love started out slow and then was like 21 touchdowns and 1 pick. If you can't watch the game and see the difference in the ability with the off-platform throws and the ability, and his offensive weapons aren't anything close to what Jalen Hurts has. If Jalen Hurts can't throw for 4,000 yards with these weapons, he needs to go. There's one quarterback in Eagles history who threw for 4,000 yards. They always talk about Caleb Williams will be the first Bear. Well, the Eagles have had one, and it was Carson Wentz. And the year that he did it, his top receivers were his both tight ends. So I don't want any more excuses about the Jalen Hurts. There is no comparison.
So are you a Packers fan?
No.
Oh, you're not. You're an Eagle fan. All right, but you just don't like Jalen Hurts.
No, I just think that he's never in his career. Correct me if I'm wrong. He has never made anybody better, ever. What player that, oh my God, benefited by playing with Jalen Hurts? He's had superior talent everywhere he's been.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
A.J. Brown, wide receiver. But A.J. Brown never put up these type of numbers in Tennessee that he's putting up with Jalen Hurts.
Are you really going to compare him to Ryan Tannehill? I mean, come on.
Well, you asked if Jalen Hurts made anyone better. I think you could make the argument that A.J. Brown has had better seasons with Jalen than he's ever had in his career.
He does raise a good question, though. Joe, I'll ask Bill, I'll ask Ray as well. At this particular time, you got Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love, and you need to pick one. Who are you taking?
right now, today, I would have to go with Jalen Hurts.
Taking Jalen Hurts over Jordan Love.
Well, Joe,
okay.
I hear what you're saying about what Jordan Love did at the end of last season. He's only done it for half a season. The guy in his career is 10-10 as a starter. 10-10.
Right.
Jalen Hurts has won 36 games in the NFL and brought a team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right. But having said that, he's also got a losing record in the playoffs. The 2 playoff wins they went to the Super Bowl, he threw for less than 150 yards.
It's an interesting point here. I never really considered it if I had a choice between Jalen Hurts. Now, you got to project also. It looks like Love, I don't know, he doesn't have the game-breaking ability that Jalen has, but maybe he's a better thrower.
Is he? He's probably a better thrower. To Joe's point, yes, last year, Jordan Love threw for over 4,100 yards. Jalen has never thrown for 4,000 yards. Or 4,100, 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
But you also can't just eliminate the fact that in 2022, Jalen threw for 3,700, but he also ran for 760.
No, that's important. There's no question. But they face each other. It's going to be cool. First game, 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this. It's Mike Missanelli Show. If you want to get in, this is a good time to get in at 610-662-0975. You got the Phillies tonight. And it's a big game because this is a series winner. Let me see what the line is here. Atlanta is minus 115. And the Phillies are minus 105.
Yeah, both are minus.
So a slight fave by with Atlanta with Spencer Schwellenbach pitching against Christopher Sanchez tonight. Now, it'll be interesting to see if they do anything. I know I had a lot of bluster early in the show after what happened last night, but these things are meaningful to me. Like this Arcia opened up that can again where he gave Bryce Harper the dirty look. Those things can't go unpunished. Nor does the slide by Jared Kelenic.
That one, I could maybe see a response. Arcia, to me, he doesn't open up the can unless you let him. I don't let him. I think what he did last night was corny. It's a regular season game. It's the fourth inning, and now you're going to try to do something. I either laugh at him or I do absolutely nothing. I'm not giving any credibility to what he did.
Lineups are not out yet, so we assume that with the right-hander, Stott will be in there. Marsh will be in there.
But it looks like they're going to give Dub-Dubs. Dub-Dubs is getting a shot.
Dub-Dub will probably start in left field after what he did last night. At the double to the opposite field, and then they got him to third base. A very key at-bat by Stott. Get him to third base.
Let me ask you a question about Dub-Dubs, Weston Wilson. Because you made a comment earlier that these baseball guys know who's an everyday player. And he's an older rookie. He's never had a shot before. And I agree with you. They usually know. But is there any chance that maybe they got this one wrong? Can this kid actually be an everyday player, Weston Wilson?
No.
Short answer, no.
No. Come on. Where's he going to be an everyday player? He didn't even have a position, basically. He's like the ultimate utility guy.
You need a look, I think.
As a starter, where? Where are you going to start him?
Right now, you got him in left.
Not a major league left fielder.
Until Austin Hayes comes back.
He doesn't really have a specific position.
He's going to just be a bench bat, right? You're going to keep him around.
Yeah, he's like a Greg Dobbs.
But I just wonder if he keeps doing this, how do you keep him on the bench?
All right, let's Philadelphia Phillies career versus Spencer Schwellenbach. Bohm, 0 for 3. They haven't faced him. They only faced him once. Castellanos, 0 for 3. Oh, no, excuse me. Castellanos was 1 for 3 against him. Brandon Marsh is 1 for 3. Johan Rojas is 1 for 2. What do you do?
Rojas isn't in the lineup.
Stott, 1 for 3. Trey Turner is 1 for 3. So it looks like Harper hasn't faced him yet.
Home run first inning.
You think so?
I think the message is going to be sent by Harper pretty quickly.
I got to check out the odds on a home run for the boys tonight.
I may have taken the last few dollars in the account and just
think so?
We'll see it tonight.
All right.
He got pretty close. Like he just missed the one last night. What was it? His last at bat. Just got under that one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Think he's getting close.
All right, let's go to Naheem in Atlantic City. Naheem, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Naheem?
How y'all doing? Good afternoon.
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to call in just in regards to this news about Jahan Dotson and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to, just as a fan, just call in just to congratulate the front office for making that move. He's a first-round pick, 2022. Awesome player. He fulfilled that number 3 spot. That was a weak point for us on paper. I'm not going to say none of the players that we had besides A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith yet. Jahan Dotson, the Commanders gave us a gift, a Christmas gift at that. So I just wanted to thank the front office, and I'm looking forward to this. I don't want to keep y'all on long, but thank you, Howie. Thank you, front office, and let's ball out, Jahan Dotson. Jersey boys, and shout out to Kenny Pickett, too. Jersey boys, too. That's all. Y'all have a great one.
All right, man. You got it. A little local flair.
I like it. I like it. Howie always does this, though, Mike. You look at some of his best moves. They come late. The Super Bowl year 2017, they got Ronald Darby August 11th in a trade. They got Jay Ajayi in October, but that's midseason. 2022, they didn't get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson until August 30th in a trade. So he likes to make these late trades right before the season, and they usually work out. It's his in-season trades that don't always work out.
Big Albert O trade last year on cutdown day.
All right.
We have to have some reaction with the Dodson acquisition on Twitter and then on YouTube, right? Well, what do we got here right on the text board?
Text board right now, we got Felix at Tampa. With the addition of Dotson, do you think AJ will play more slot, since that's what Kellen Moore did with CeeDee Lamb and Keenan Allen in the past?
Interesting.
It is interesting. And we're going to find out. I think Kellen Moore, one of the things that he does that I love are those bunch formations, which makes it difficult for defenses to pick up who they're going to have on there. So you're probably going to see a lot of bunch formations, too, with those three guys.
We still have some baseball texts. We have a text from a Braves fan. Uh-oh. These
Yes.
Braves fans are obnoxious.
We had a Braves fan checking in much earlier in the show. Ron near Wilkes-Barre. Been a Braves fan since I was a kid. And Arcia is the only Braves player I could never stand. Kind of want to see Harper hit a home run next game.
Wow. Coming from a Braves fan.
Yeah, he's a punk. Arcia's a punk. You know, he was a good player with Milwaukee, then he hit the skid. And then they traded him, and Atlanta acquired him basically to be a backup because they had Vaughn Grissom, who they thought was going to be their shortstop, and that didn't work out. So RC became a starter again. Now he's all full of himself.
He's just a corny dude. Like, do you remember last year?
Punk.
Remember last year after the whole Harper situation? Then he's turning around, sticking his tongue out at Phillies fans. Just like a corny
he's
dude.
A punk.
And Ronald Acuna's got to be like, hey, man, focus on the game. Get back in the game. Get back in the game.
Yeah, Father Sean has texted in.
Yes.
On the Arcia situation.
Mike is right. Got to give Arcia the chin music.
Wow.
Man of the cloth right there.
Yeah, see, Man of the Cloth says chin music.
What about turning the other
that's why
cheek,
you gotta
Father
stay.
Sean?
Can't turn the other cheek here, man. No, Christopher Sanchez. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this trade. Now, unfortunately, Kelnick might not be in the lineup, but that's the guy I'd go after first. I really would. All right, so here's some home run odds for you, Ray. Who is your guy that hit a home run? You think Harper?
Yeah, I'll tell you the rest of the account's on it.
Plus 380.
Yeah, the rest of the account was empty.
Harper to hit a homer. You emptied it?
Yeah.
Plus 380. For some reason, Adam Duvall is the second favorite on the board to hit a home run tonight.
Really?
He must have numbers against Christopher Sanchez.
Has to.
Against lefties for sure.
Wow. Kyle Schwarber is a favorite to hit one tonight at plus 330. Adam Duvall at plus 340. I'm going to have to get in on that. That's telling.
You're going Duvall?
I might have to go Duvall. Well, all of a sudden he comes out of the blue. He's the second favorite to hit a bomb tonight. Those things get my attention.
I think I like the plus 420.
Harper plus 380. Marcell Ozuna plus 400. Matt Olson at plus 550. He hasn't hit one in a while.
Oh, wait, you got Harper at plus 380, you said?
Plus 380.
So I got on mine, on FanDuel, it's plus 420.
Oh, I got plus 380 here. Well, maybe that went down.
What do you got, Ray? What did you get in on?
I was somewhere in the 400s. I wanted to get it before we got into the conversation about the odds. I wanted to make sure that I
gotta
got the
be
best
honest with you.
possible price.
I'm gonna throw a couple shekels on Adam Duvall tonight. I mean, I hate to jinx the Phillies. I know that's probably a violation to do that, but that's getting my attention.
Trying to find the numbers between them that would lead to this. If we've seen these two match up before, and they got. Yeah.
Wait, he must have numbers against them.
Not seeing anything.
No.
I think they just are banking on him mashing lefties.
Let's see. No, he doesn't have any numbers against them.
That's wild. They must really love his ability to mash left-handers. I also got distracted because I went to look this up, and the last thing I looked up was the Kellen Moore, John Kincade side-by-side earlier today.
Yeah. Wait, the teeth thing?
The teeth thing.
And what's your conclusion?
I could see where he's coming from.
Really?
I could kind of understand where he's coming from. I don't fully see it. I think it's a little bit of a reach. I think you're looking for something to compare the two of them, but I can't say I totally disregard it.
Oh. All right. So what are they saying on YouTube about this trade, Bill?
People like it. Yeah, people like the Dotson trade a lot. I don't have any specific things because now they're into the whole money line on the home runs. A lot of people like Harper tonight for a home run. So they got away from the. If you're not on our YouTube chat, it's nonstop. So I mean, we're getting hundreds of comments a second on
Yes, I know.
So it's hard
But
to follow.
Any one stand out from anybody?
On the Dotson deal?
Yeah.
No,
I'll
not
let
right
you
now.
know that I got called out on the text line here.
You got called out.
Yeah, I did, because of my desire not to retaliate here. Jay in Westchester wants to put Alvarado in the game tonight to throw 99 or 100 and hit one of the Braves. And on top of that, Ray, as much of a baseball guy you are, I am honestly disappointed. Bill, I understand. He's soft because he's a Sirianni supporter. But you, it pains me to think you don't want to throw 3 pitches behind Arcia tonight, and then the 4th one hits his rib. That was Jay in Westchester saying that he's disappointed in me.
I was frankly shocked by your pacifist stance as well, Ray. I don't really understand it, frankly.
Yeah, I just don't see it. Like, especially hitting the guy, putting the guy on base. I'm not going to get behind.
Yeah, okay, I got that. I got that part of it. But, like, game situations. Suppose the Phillies are up 5-1, middle innings. Now, you're going to see Alvarado tonight. He didn't pitch. He's going to come back tonight and pitch. They're not going to go away from him. They're going to keep sending him out there.
I think who they have in the tank right now. Yeah, it's going to have to be him after last night when they emptied it out.
That's correct.
34 pitches.
Yeah, so Alvarado's going to get, unless Christopher Sanchez throws another complete game, which he threw 99 in his last start.
Also, if Alvarado hits someone, you can kind of hide behind the whole, hey, man, sometimes he loads up and we have no idea where that ball's going.
Yeah, but why do you even have to do like? Why do you have to be afraid?
If he hits
Ray's
someone,
afraid, Bill's afraid.
No, I'm not afraid.
Right?
So me and Ray were against it for different reasons. Ray looked at it from a game strategy. What I'm saying is I don't think you give credibility to something as corny as what he did. I just think it was a corny thing to do in a 4th inning of a regular season game.
Then you didn't like what Harper did last year?
No, I loved it. Because
it's not corny?
No, the reason it wasn't corny when Harper did it was because it was in response to Attaboy Harper, and it was in a playoff game. And did he go yard twice?
Yeah.
And stare at him both times?
I believe it was 1-1 when he went yard the first time, made it 4-1.
Yeah.
So what this guy did in the 4th inning of a regular season game 10 months later, to me, I don't care about Orlando Arcia. I'm just saying you ignore it, and all you do is maybe laugh at the guy.
The Harper moment last year in the postseason, there was the thought in the back of my head, like, all right, yeah, now you have to win this game because this entire moment loses all of its meaning if you end up losing this game. And they obviously didn't. He ended up hitting another home run. Like for Arcia last night, he hits a home run, puts them up 2-0. They lost. Like I don't see a lot of the juice after that.
I think I got a good bet for tonight.
All right, what do you got?
I don't usually play these kind of things, but Phillies lead after 5 innings, plus 130.
A little first 5 action.
Plus 130 with the lead, like a 2-1 lead here, I'm thinking.
See, I usually hate those kind of bets, too.
Lead after 3 innings, plus 155. You can make some cash here with those lines.
You're throwing some first 5 bets around. I got a group chat for you of people that would love that.
Yeah, jump on them early and cash a ticket.
Yeah, I got
How
a
about
group of
total
friends.
runs, first 3 innings? Over 2.5.
So first 2 innings, you said? Over?
First 3 innings,
First 3.
over 2.5.
Yeah, I like
It's
it.
plus 107.
Schwarber walks, Turner base hit, Harper homer. They were already there.
Yeah, but then the Braves
Great start to
score
the game.
too. So that's both teams.
Oh, I like it.
The more I'm looking at your Duvall home run, I don't like it.
Why not?
Because although he's better against left-handed pitching, it's not like the guy's a power hitter. He's got 7 home runs all season against left-handers.
See, you look at the wrong things. There's a reason why the odds maker puts that line out there.
What is it?
You don't look at the guy, well, he's not going to hit a home run. Why? They know the same thing as you do. Why would they make him the second favorite? Are you smarter than those guys? They see the same thing. He's only got 7 home runs.
No home runs in his last...
They have a feel.
Yeah, no home runs in his last 7 games.
Okay, there you go. They have some kind of feel for this.
He's batting .059.
Okay.
In his
Does it
last
make any
7.
sense that he would be the second favorite to hit a home run?
No, that's why you're going to
And
bet
this is
it.
the Missanelli theory. It doesn't make any sense, so that's why it's going to come through.
You put money on it? Because
I'm definitely going to place a couple shekels on that.
All right.
I've got nothing left. It all went on the Harper home.
It did?
Yep.
He emptied the ticket on Harper tonight. All
So
right.
we'll see what happens.
Earl in West Philly, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Earl.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
What's up, Earl?
I'm good. I actually called in I know it's your show, and I apologize. I called to talk to Ray.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, hey.
I'm just going to eat a Wendy's cinnamon bun here.
That's been sitting around
I'm sorry
since 6
about that,
a.m.
Mike. Ray, I called on Sunday. You guys were talking about. All right. So you remember I said Jahan Dotson, man.
I thought of you as soon as this trade went down. You're vindicated right now.
Yes, I feel good, man. I feel good. I like the trade a lot. Penn State guy, former my alma mater, Penn State. So I like the trade a lot. I guess you liked it that day too. So I think we're in a good place now, man.
I'm feeling great.
So Earl, you went to Penn State?
I did go to Penn State.
How come you didn't go to Temple?
I liked Joe Pye at the time, and I know his name is not that very popular now, but at the time, Joe Pye was the guy.
Okay. All right. You got it, buddy.
I thank you. I appreciate the time.
All right. See, Ray, he got back at you through the show.
I appreciate it. I thought of him as soon as that trade went down. I was like,
did you?
Yeah, because I was like, we took that call over the weekend, and Earl called and said Dotson, and I remember I was sitting there, and Josh was with me over the weekend, and we were sitting there like, oh my, if they were able to make that move happen, I'd be thrilled.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't think it would happen because I didn't think they'd trade within division.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. That's the shocker. Oh, as we're talking gambling too, though, Mike, did you see the NFL has not had a gambling suspension in more than a year?
Buckle down on it, man. That's those year-long suspensions. Kind of take it out of you.
Let me ask you, though.
Yep.
Do you think it's just because their new policies are working, or you think the players are hiding it a little better?
I don't think that players are stupid enough to think they can hide it anymore. These guys, they have forensic experts.
Yeah.
The NFL security force, you can't get away with anything anymore.
Well, you see, Major League Baseball had their gambling issues with Ohtani. Then NBA's had theirs. Nothing in the NFL.
No.
Year and a half.
Shut them down. You can't be without football for a year. And right away, the hammer comes down on you.
Isaiah Rodgers, man.
That's correct. And the Calvin Ridley. Look at him.
Calvin Ridley's another one. The Eagles would not have A.J. Brown if Calvin Ridley didn't get suspended for gambling.
Listen, do I believe that there are players who have a surrogate who bets online for them? It's possible. But the way these security people work, they tie that in. Like they connect the dots on people who are betting with the player. They'll trace it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, you can't just do the whole Venmo thing.
No, can't do that stuff anymore. All right, tonight, Phil's Braves. I like the Phils to win. I like them to win the series. I like them to get some kind of retribution as well. So I'm looking at a win plus retribution. I need to have it happen. Now, maybe they don't do it tonight. They do it later. I don't know. This would be a perfect time to do it. Retribution. 2 violations by the Braves last night. You got to take care of that stuff.
I would ignore it, just shake my head at him, laugh at him as I pass him on the base paths.
Okay.
With that home run that Harper's hitting tonight.
Yeah.
Dub's going yard tonight.
You like him? Bet that then. Put a bet on that.
All right, so I got Weston Wilson.
That's probably a big number.
I got Wilson. You have who you taking?
I got Adam Duvall.
Adam Duvall and Ray took Harper.
Stay tuned. The afternoon show coming up with Ricky and Tom Alford. It's Mike Missanelli Show. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.